with truth in our hands. No more silence, we take a stand. For the people who cry for the dreams that fade, we speak for the hearts that justice betrayed. Radio True Media
on FM 103.9.
Radio True Media
on FM 103.9.
Now we voice, now we power. True Media go shine like tower. We no go fear, we go talk. Even if they know I make we talk. True Media Radio on FM 103.9.
Now God we dey Friday, not true we dey preach. Freedom of speech, now that we dey teach.
For salon, we go stand tall. Radio True Media,
one voice for all.
We honor the land, the struggle, the fight. We shine a light in the darkest night, because we believe in hard work and faith to Sierra Leone way. We hold the line, come what may.
Them one set we more them, but we go shout. Now the poor man voice we they bring out.
Now we alright for no day.
This is Truth Radio, 103.9 FM. We empower the nation.
Mina Yusufu Jallo, the Cowfoot Prince, and you they listen to Truth Radio on 103.9 FM live from Freetown. Natu de las.
Matonya ye pe gbo ela we Tonya ye pe gbo ela ngatu aya gbo ngbe wa to mi na ni FM we Tonya ye pe gbo wo ela me ngatu aya gbo ngbe wa to mi na ni FM Tamia ngatu atonya ye pe gbo ela we Anya boda tonya ye mi aloma tonya ye le mi amome Ya bone jagbe nya le ngeja ti anya le dwe mi do onya ngongo lo tonya ye pe gbo ela we mi atanu isi vena na bolo abo mi do eva anya boda je pe gburu abo mi wa bi do tonya ye pe gbo ela Amiaga tole apapa go titalo ba pepe nebe da penegbe nugo ma o aya gbogbe chawa to mi na ni FM ne ma ya mi abede bede mo keni mo ya de keni mo ni da ke FM e bi lo to me gbo Amiaga pinga
Well, me fancy him anyway for do With yourself no more. Hallelujah.
Truth media.
Two
Media.
Media.
Truth. Yes, you. Truth media. Join and Truth media.
Truth media.
Truth media. Say una we dey watch Truth media.
May watch you.
Una we dey listen to Truth media.
Now listen June.
Una listen to Truth media.
Now listen to so media.
No, truth. You don't have the truth there.
Okay, truth.
Una we dey listen to Truth media.
Now listen to so media.
Truth media.
Su media. Very no bad. Nasa anybody Salomon. Yeah, they live for the people them for do any business for do some. Yeah, they live in the office. They no bad. Any business for do some. Are they provide for us for make any students them. Anyway, for make or the confusion or the education. Anybody for learner. Anybody for prepare. Any song if for they. Anybody.
Ayo. Ya bole se wo ma to yan ye pe gbo ela we. To yan ye pe gbo ela nga tu aya gbo ngbe ta wa to mi na ni FM we. To yan ye pe gbo wo ela me nga tu aya gbo ngbe sa wa to mi na ni FM. Mianga tu atonya ye pe gwo ela we anya boda atonya ye mi aloma tonya ye le mi amome la boda jagbe nya le deja ti anya le do mi do onya gongo lo tonya ye pe gwo ela we mi atanu isi vena na bo la bo mi do eva anya boda je pe bu la bo mi wa bi do tonya ye pe gwo ela Amiaga tole apapa go tita lo ba pepe ne be da pe ne gbe nugo ma o aye gbo gbe cha wa to mi na ni FM ne ma ya mi abede be de mo kini mo ya de kini mo ni da ke za ke fe me e bi lo to me gbo Amiaga pinga e
Beautiful country and beautiful people indeed. Say Leone, we all Leone. Thanks to Lala CDB for always reminding ourselves the other weekday morning that this country now we all Leone and a beautiful country, the land of milk and honey, the country say the impossible is always possible. But good morning and welcome. It is a blessing for always there every other weekday morning. This is the Truth Morning Devotion on Truth FM 103.9 with the broadcast live from the studios na Ilcott na Freetown. We're on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and you listen to we on with partner radio stations them as well across the country. And one for thank we colleagues them na the regions where they make all the efforts for connect with we and share information. Empower people and knowledge across the country. Good morning and welcome. Hope you had a good night. You sleep well, and you wake fine this morning. You know, you wake fine, right? You wake fine. Just thank God. Just be grateful for life. You know, I can say one of the things we can take for granted in life, man. It's life. You know, we should be grateful. We should be thankful to God that you go lay down, you sleep, you go in your trance, you forget about life, you either dream or you go. You need to know how you sleep. You need to know how you wake safe. It's a blessing. It's something we sometimes take for granted, and there is no way you can trade life for any other thing. Anyhow, we love people and say we not go and die with them, man. You won't. You'll mourn, you'll grieve, but you don't go say no, I bury me with this person inside the grave. No, you won't. You won't. You'll always want to live your own life. Want to pray for more time, well body, and God in continued blessing. So I want to tell God thank you this morning for your life. That we get well body. Sometimes I can sit back and say, yeah, I tell Allah thank you. It's almost a ear man the knack and this thing. So there's been no major illness, and 1-2 man can get, headache or then small fever. But really tell God thank you, that we don't come this far, and hopefully we get a long way for go together as a people, as a country. This is the people's work. This is what we've dedicated ourselves to do. It's tiring sometimes, but with the spirit around, with the support around, and the understanding that we are all doing this together for God and country. I know they sleep any other night, Papa God, I remember say, like I see them na Truth Radio and Puel Person. Like I see them na Truth Radio and destroy this country, like I can sit on a Truth Radio and blackmail somebody, or I can sit on a and say bad things just because I want to say bad things about government. So that they keep me going, because like I can say, I can get sleep. Honestly, well, I do. I think about a lot of things and sometimes grief and all, but I do get sound sleep, most times on weekend I do, because I not remember say there are people where I'm not a perfect human being. I'll never be. We all won't be. We all get with flaws, we get with mistake, we get with sins that we commit, but we try our best for do it right, with the men we say, we imperfections them, accept them and work on them and improve on them. But wallahi, the thing I go thank God for that. I know they sleep and wake and remember say I for destroy other person or do other person bad. And I thank God for that. I get a peace of mind. They say I don't sleep thinking about people I should come and harm, people I should come and destroy. I don't think about that. But if you fall within the line, you do something way bad, I'll definitely talk about it. Because for me, this country big pass we all. It's a bigger space where we all get a responsibility for doing right. It just means say we job You get for deal with people, you get for talk about people, you get for say things the way wrong. You definitely go say things the way good as well. So that's about it. But good morning and welcome. I want to thank God for life, and I want to join the family of His Excellency, the President, and the people of this country, for which His Excellency President Dr. Julius Maada, retired brigadier. Happy birthday, and pray say he will continue to celebrate many more birthdays in good health, and pray that God continue to give the wisdom and understanding, for lead this country to the right paths. A lot of things they happen where the president himself, need for sure leadership. He needs to, like what's in the happen with drugs situation so across the world, we've been named and all of them things, and the only person we go come out and say no, we would think say we as a country we not go allow this for continue to happen. This is His Excellency the President, especially where to a very large extent international media don't report the most wanted man where they talk about where the Dutch government wants. They say there, and they're being and it's being linked directly to you, Mr. President. He's been seen in a church with you. He's been seen with your daughter. He's been seen close to people within the corridors of power, and the only person we go come and say, we get the authority, we get the leadership, we get the power, for let the world know that we are not condoning. We don't have anybody like that here. They condone them. You don't know this person. It's you. Even passively, this is something you can talk about. Because only your legacy to Marabambai be about somebody where they make wealth in your way within this country, or where other people they benefit from, illicitly. We want to wish you happy birthday, but also want to remind you that there are things that only you, because me, I don't text the Inspector General of Police, by the way. They not respond. Asking about the investigation with Umar Sharif, where you say been there at this store. Yeah, Umar Sharif was here. You don't confirm. The picture that went viral of the guy who was in a church with His Excellency the President is Umar Sharif. The picture that went viral of a guy where them be celebrating birthday is Umar Sharif. The picture that went viral of a guy who was seen close to the daughter of the president is Umar Sharif. But this Umar Sharif, if he didn't have this tongue or let we know. This is about our country. This is not about people ego. This is not about people personal issues. This is about our country. It's about a state. It's about a country where another country don't say the person where they want they now don't say okay, not to that name they will get. Now this name we get. So this name won't get this person. He was seen with somebody who been served as we immigration officer. He was seen with somebody where they serve as we National Drug Law Enforcement Agency head. And then people and then able to give information to the public and explain to them. Say this is what we have done. This is what we are doing. You can't, police not go keep the people malice, especially when we until we say this is something you're going to investigate and update the people. It creates room for a lot of suspicion and misinformation. Because perhaps if we not come out and say no, we don't have anybody like Umar Sharif here, I don't move Komoya. The Netherlands government not for still they ask they not for still they mention we pan reports they say that person is still in Sierra Leone. If we not come out with a statement, so we not get an IAO, we not there again, we don't do investigation, we don't fail them. Or if we get them, we say look them, they hand them over to now. Anyways, welcome to the Truth Morning Devotion. Today we're going to look at the human rights of Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone Day under review na Geneva na the Universal Periodic Review. Side and they review the human rights situation of all the countries. Hopefully by 7 we will bring kind of live broadcast day from Geneva and see how the Attorney General Minister of Justice did it and get for present Leone statement and all of that. They get for look Q&A. But we're going to guest them. We can't talk about human rights today. And later we're going to talk to the presidential spokesman, Alhaji Alpha Kanu, on the presidency generally. And for celebrate President Bio's birthday, there is a colloquium today where then they host Bintumani Conference Center. We get to talk about that as well in the program. Continue to stay with you. They pray this morning. Let's start the devotion with prayers. Let's seek God in guidance, in protection, and blessing in our life. Let us pray. Join us in prayers.
Go to the educational sectors, all the big men in this country, everybody we try and this country with the ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah protect and guide them. So inshallah, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها لها ما كسبت وعليها ما اكتسبت ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا أو أخطأنا ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إسرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار اللهم إنا نعوذ بك من جحد البلاء والدرك الشكا وسوء القضاء والشماتة الأعداء اللهم إياك نعبد ولك نصلي ونسجد وإليك نسعى ونحفد نرجو رحمتك ونخشى عذابك إن عذابك الجد بالكافرين ملحقا سلام سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والصلاة والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
In Jesus' name we pray. Everlasting God, one for tell you plenty thank you for this nation, Sierra Leone. One for bless you for what you don't do, for the peace. Father, we thank you for the government. We thank you for Sierra Leoneans. One for give you all the praise, all the honor and adoration. Papa God, now even as your word tell me say, that we pray for the one that would end in our power. Lord God Almighty, I commit the president, commit his team, commit his family, commit the vice president, commit his team, commit his family, commit the ministers, parliamentarians, all stakeholders then at this country. With the lead we, Papa, I lay them at your hand. I pray that you continue for protect them, continue for cover them, continue, Father, for give them wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and continue for help them. Let them continue for rule this nation, and continue for push this country go before. Papa God in heaven, I tell you plenty thank you for the picking them where they go school today. I ask, oh God, that you go with them. The one that they take motorcar, the one that they walk by foot. I ask that you give angels charge over them. Let us then they go. Let them go safely and let them return home safely. Cancel every accident. Cancel evil. Makituma and them, keke riders, bike riders. One that we don't grab this morning for go and spend money, for go on their different homes, different jobs. Papa, I pray that you go with them. Pray that you open the heavens over them in the name of Jesus. I also ask for this land, Sierra Leone. Let we continue for enjoy peace. Let we continue, Father, for live as one. Let we live in unity, oneness, and togetherness in the name of Jesus. Everlasting Father, you take charge. Have your way and do that which no man can do. Forever be God over this land. Cover us alone and protect us alone. For in Jesus' name we've prayed. Amen.
For so long, Papa, do ya we done the pray, so today, the time don't come for make you answer. Retire for past be and do. Papa, do ya sorry for it? Because we sense the nonsense if we not get you presence. And if we been get drunk, we for don't fetch for ourselves. But we not able, now you capable for pull we pandiskulala. The time you begin and the press, do ya we need the pen for done, we done the cry. Do ya just make the rain for dumb? Can't help we laugh, so we go rise. Let we not suffer for the one them, where they dwell the country with their hand. We leaders them, please guide them, make them do good things from make we stand.
Indeed, we leader them, please guide them, let them do good things them for make we stand. At this point, one play special birthday song for His Excellency the President. Yeah, this is from all of us at Streets Media. We wish you a blessed birthday and pray that like Judah pray with we this morning. We pray that God will guide you for do the good things them for this country and pray and hope say you know, yeah, you go you go do the good things them for this country and continue to do the right things them. There are things you've done that are good, progressive laws, infrastructure, free quality education, feed salon, but there are things we need to sustain. There are things we need to do better. This morning there is some serious blackout. I'm sure it in many places. Serious blackouts all in this year. I actually don't reach out to EDSA for seeing if we can talk about waiting they go on. And this morning I just wake and see notice from Guma say that they shut down. Then they shut down today from 9 to 6. I go show the notice anyway, so people can go aware. But then pull out a notice. So those things, social services. But Ugafor can play a video of the promise where you make some time ago, Mr. President, during the inauguration ceremony. But we'll play the birthday song, then we'll take the anthem and the pledge as well.
I wish you happy birthday, say I love you my son. My mother wish you happy birthday, cause I love you too much. One day, one day, uncle day, and auntie, cousin day, nephew day, we all wish you happy birthday. I wish you happy birthday, say I love you my son. My mother wish you happy birthday, cause I love you too much. One day, uncle day, and auntie, cousin day, nephew day, we all wish you happy birthday. If you sing me, I'd sing this song, I'd sing how we are. Let me pick them. When I'm ready for go the restaurant man from Melvin, we can find. Give a happy birthday. For me, I love you, and happy birthday, mama. Happy birthday. For me, I love you, and happy birthday. I wish you happy birthday. Say I love you, my son. My mother wish you happy birthday, cause I love you too much. One day, one day, uncle day, and auntie, cousin day, nephew day, we all wish you happy birthday.
This shot you find, let it on them know you are one panic and any side where you there, with the prayer and the Almighty open you way. When we look at your face now, so you papa, all I know what's up, my soul.
My love and loyalty to my country, Sierra Leone. I vow to serve her faithfully at all the times. I promise to defend her honor and good name. Always work for our unity, this freedom and prosperity.
Indeed, land that we love, our Sierra Leone. This beautiful country, and the country we all get so much love for. But sometimes we need for sure the love. We will get opportunity for serve in different spaces, whether na the civic space, whether na public service, whether na private sector. We all get a role for play. I mean, tell you about Guma Jason Simon. You just show the notice. Guma don't announce and say then they close down. Then they close down. Like just read that. I say the Guma Value Water Company hereby informs its valued customers and the general public that water supply to Freetown will be temporarily shut down from 10 a.m. To 6 p.m. 8 hours today, Tuesday, 12 May 2026, to facilitate urgent repair works on the 22-inch transmission pipeline at Black Tank, Adunkia. So, if you not get almost o'clock, then say 10 a.m. from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. So, if you not get water, if you get forget water, so if you get water, now for if you get pump up in now for we will get water problem now. Then this year all pass. We they buy water bows sadika with water. So it's a challenge. But if we pump up in now for keep water because pump for lock for some hours according to Guma. Well, they can't go back a bit. See the president is celebrating birthday, but we want to remind the president as well. You know, this is a time possibly of reflection. We don't celebrate birthday of the president. I think it's 8 years now since 2018 to 2026. Now we become president. And now in inauguration, there's this statement where president be make, and this now AYV been broadcast this live. I remember I've been posting some time ago and quoting the president. Let me just watch this video quickly, and we'll come back.
During my campaigns and since my election, I have said time and again that this is not going to be the business as usual politics and governance of the state. My new government is therefore launching 3 peaceful democratic wars. First, a war on indiscipline. Second, a war on corruption. And third, a war on poverty. Peaceful democratic wars on indiscipline, corruption, and poverty will define my term of office, that I am determined to deliver on my promises.
That was His Excellency, the President, in the inauguration. He make 3 promises, you know. 3 promises where they think same way a plan for FET. But here we are today, and we all can review the promises where the President make, how far we dey, and whose side we dey go. Well, we can link now live to Geneva, whose side Sierra Leone dey under review now, the Universal Periodic Review, and the review with human rights record. This now the Sierra Leone ambassador to Geneva, and you see the Attorney General Minister of Justice stay by his side. We therefore deliver the salon statement. Slow join live. We come back later. We can get a conversation on this you know, na the program. Continue for stay with we.
Which underscore respect for international law and treaty obligations, including reporting obligations under the Universal Periodic Review. The Constitution further guarantees the recognition and protection of the fundamental human rights and freedoms of the individual. In this context, Her Excellency Mrs. Frances Piegi Alhaji, Minister of International Affairs and Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, will provide an overview of the inclusive and consultative process that informed the preparation, validation, and submission of our reports. The delegation of Sierra Leone is further composed of technical officials from capital and diplomatic staff here in Geneva, including His Excellency Samuel UBS Safar, Ambassador and Deputy Permanent Representative of Sierra Leone to the United Nations and other international organizations in Geneva. Mr. Edward Kawa, Minister Plenipotentiary at the Mission of Sierra Leone to the United Nations Office and other international organizations here in Geneva. Mr. Patrick Hassan Molai Kroma, Deputy of Legal and Economic Cooperation at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation in Freetown. Alimami Sise, Principal State Counsel and Head of International Division at the Office of the Attorney General and Minister of Justice. Dr. David Yambasu, Senior Technical Advisor at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation. Mr. Thomas Freeman, Senior State Counsel, Office of the Attorney General and Minister of Justice. Mr. Robert Kuruma, Press Counselor at the Permanent Mission of Sierra Leone to the United Nations Office and other international cooperation organizations in Geneva. Mr. Joseph Powell, Second Secretary at the Permanent Mission of Sierra Leone to the United Nations and other international organizations in Geneva. And Mr. Mohammed Sharif, the Information Attaché at the Permanent Mission to the United Nations and other international organizations here in Geneva. Madam Vice President, I now have the honor to invite the Honorable Attorney General and Minister of Justice to take the floor and make further comments into this. So, thank you very much.
Thank you. Madam Vice President, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, good morning. I have the honor to present the National Human Rights Report of the Republic of Sierra Leone for the fourth cycle of the Universal Periodic Review. And before getting into this report, Madam Vice President, Excellencies, I'd like to first invite the Honorable Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Mrs. Frances Piegui Algali, to present to us the process that has informed the content of this report. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Distinguished Vice President, Excellencies, esteemed delegates. This statement focuses on the inclusive, transparent, and participatory processes that guided the preparation, data collection, drafting, and validation of the report for the fourth cycle. The preparation of our national report was led by the National Reporting Mechanism of the Interministerial Committee on Human Rights, which is housed within the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation. The National Reporting Mechanism Secretariat provides overall policy guidance and coordination of our UPR process and works in close collaboration with all ministries, departments, and agencies. This institutional arrangement ensured coherence across government, strengthened interministerial collaboration, and facilitated structured engagement with all relevant stakeholders involved in the implementation of human rights obligations under the UPR. The report was developed through an extensive and inclusive nationwide consultation process. Ministries, departments, and agencies across all sectors were actively engaged to provide updates on the implementation of recommendations relevant to their mandates. Consultations were also conducted with civil society organizations, community-based organizations, independent national institutions, and other stakeholders. These institutional engagements were carried out at both national and subnational levels to ensure that diverse perspectives, including those from local communities, were reflected in the report. Particular attention was given to ensuring the participation of groups representing women, children, persons living with disabilities, and other stakeholders, thereby reinforcing national ownership and inclusivity in the reporting process. A 6-month structured data collection process was undertaken to ensure accuracy, consistency, and accountability in reporting. Ministries, departments, and agencies were requested to submit detailed inputs based on an agreed reporting framework aligned with previous recommendations and the recommendations accepted during the third cycle review. These inputs were supported by administrative data, sectoral reports, and institutional record. The National Reporting Mechanism Secretariat coordinating the compilation, data cleaning, and verification, ensuring that it reflected measurable progress and identified gaps in the implementation process of previous recommendations. The drafting of the report was undertaken through a coordinated and interactive process led by the Mechanism Secretariat. The report reflects the status of implementation of the recommendations accepted during the third cycle, including those not fully implemented from earlier cycles, as well as voluntary pledges made by the government. The report also captures cross-cutting themes and emerging priorities identified during the consultation process. A national validation process was conducted in January 2026 to finalize the national report and ensure accuracy, credibility, consensus, and collective ownership. This multi-stakeholder validation workshop brought together representatives from government institutions, civil society organizations, independent commission, including the Human Rights Commission of Sierra Leone, development partners, and other stakeholders. This platform provided an opportunity for stakeholders to review the draft report, provide feedback, and confirm the accuracy of the information presented. The validation process strengthened transparency, enhanced stakeholder confidence, and ensured that the final report reflected a balanced and comprehensive national perspective. The government of Sierra Leone remains committed to upholding the principles of transparency, inclusivity, and accountability in the fulfillment of its reporting obligations under the Universal Periodic Review Mechanism. Sierra Leone looks forward to constructive dialogue and continued cooperation with member states and partners in advancing the promotion and protection of human rights. I now give the floor back to the Honorable Attorney General and Minister of Justice to deliver his statement. I thank you all.
Thank you. Madam Vice President, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, Sierra Leone is pleased to be here to honor this very important statutory obligation. As a government and as a country, we attach the highest importance to the UPR process and to the work of the Human Rights Council. During the third cycle review, our participation took place virtually due to the then prevailing global health pandemic. Our presence here today for this fourth cycle review demonstrates our continued commitment to the Council's mechanisms and to the principles of the United Nations Charter. The report before this Council therefore reflects Sierra Leone's progress made in implementing recommendations accepted during the third cycle and from earlier cycles. This report also reaffirms our unwavering commitment to the promotion and to the protection of human rights. Since our last review in 2021, Sierra Leone has navigated a complex environment marked by political transitions, economic pressures, and security-related developments, including the violent protests of August 2022 and the attempted unconstitutional change of government in November 2023. Notwithstanding these challenges, the government has remained firmly committed to democratic consolidation, the rule of law, and respect for human rights. Sierra Leone has undertaken significant constitutional, legislative, and institutional reforms to strengthen democratic governance, accountability, and human rights protection. The ongoing constitutional review process is modernizing our electoral system, The constitutional reforms will also strengthen human rights by eliminating discriminatory provisions against women, and will make health care and education constitutional rights that citizens are entitled to. To give effect to the constitutional review process, government will hold a national referendum envisaged ahead of or around the 2028 general elections. A landmark achievement during the reporting period is the abolition of the death penalty in 2022, reinforcing Sierra Leone's commitment to the right to life. In the same spirit, the Criminal Procedure Act 2024, which came into effect in September 2025, represents the most comprehensive reform of the criminal justice system in over 6 decades. The Act modernizes procedures, enhances efficiency, and strengthens transparency and accountability, whilst ensuring that poverty and status are not criminalized in Sierra Leone. The Act abolishes the 2-stage preliminary investigation process and introduces a streamlined committal procedure requiring magistrates to determine within 28 days whether cases should proceed to the High Court or not. It also expands non-custodial sentencing options, including community service and suspended sentences, and removes jury trials for capital offenses in line with the abolition of the death penalty. For the first time, victims and other marginalized persons who take part in the criminal justice process, including disabled, aged, and people without formal education, are granted enforceable procedural rights, including access to information, to participation, and protection. The Act has taken on board the spirit and intent of the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights and the principles enshrined in the African Charter on Human and People's Rights. These reforms address long-standing challenges such as case backlogs, delays, and prison overcrowding, and are already contributing to improved efficiency, reduced remand populations, and increased public confidence in the justice system. They further align Sierra Leone's legal framework with its international obligations, particularly under the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. National human rights institutions have also been strengthened. The Human Rights Commission of Sierra Leone continues to operate in full compliance with the Paris Principles and has maintained its Grade A status accreditation. In the area of peace, security, and governance, Sierra Leone continues to prioritize peace consolidation and political stability. In October 2023, the government signed the Agreement for National Unity with the main opposition party, contributing to the resolution of political disagreements and reinforcing national cohesion. In this regard, the government has further strengthened institutional mechanisms for dialogue and conflict prevention, including through the Independent Commission for Peace and National Cohesion, which continues to play a central role in facilitating political engagement and maintaining social stability, particularly in the aftermath of the June 2023 elections. In April 2026, Sierra Leone also engaged in high-level consultations held in Freetown with regional and international partners, including the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, the United Nations, and the Commonwealth, acting as international moral guarantors. These engagements formed part of a joint assessment mission to support the implementation of the Agreement for National Unity and to promote inclusive political dialogue, trust building, and sustainable peace. These governance efforts are complemented by ongoing justice sector reforms aimed at reinforcing the rule of law, improving accountability, and enhancing public confidence in state institutions. Furthermore, Sierra Leone continues to promote a rules-based governance framework through sustained engagement with citizens and stakeholders, recognizing that peace, justice, and development are mutually reinforcing pillars essential to the full realization of human rights in Sierra Leone. In the area of justice sector and the rule of law, we know that access to justice has been further expanded through sustained government investment in the nationwide operations of the Legal Aid Board, which continues to provide essential legal services to vulnerable populations, particularly women and children. Judicial capacity has also been strengthened through the appointment and promotion of judges and magistrates, contributing to improved service delivery and the overall effectiveness of the justice system. The Justice Sector Reform Strategy 2024 to 2030 provides a comprehensive framework for improving efficiency, accountability, and inclusiveness. Efforts are underway to address case backlogs, trial delays, and overcrowding in detention facilities. The government is addressing these through bill reforms, improved case management, diversion of certain cases to alternative processes, and expanded court sittings. On gender equality and protection of vulnerable populations, Sierra Leone has made notable progress in advancing gender equality. The Gender Equality and Women's Empowerment Act of 2022 has significantly increased women's representation in governance, with women now holding over 30% of parliamentary seats and key leadership positions in government and other public sector institutions. This provision will also be included in the new and improved constitution, making it a non-negotiable requirement in the country's supreme law. The Child Rights Act of 2025 and the Prohibition of Child Marriage Act of 2024 have strengthened protections for children in Sierra Leone. Efforts to combat sexual and gender-based violence continue through legislative reforms, specialized courts, and public awareness initiatives. On fundamental freedoms, the Constitution guarantees freedom of religion and expression, and Sierra Leone continues to enjoy religious tolerance and peaceful coexistence. The repeal of criminal libel provisions has expanded civic space and strengthened media freedom. At the same time, the government is ensuring that legislation such as the Cybersecurity and Crime Act of 2021 and the National Counterterrorism Act of 2024 are implemented in a manner consistent with international human rights standards. Sierra Leone has made significant investment in socio-economic rights. The government has made steady progress in advancing socio-economic rights, particularly in the health sector, where access to services has expanded significantly through a nationwide network of over 1,600 health facilities, supported by legislative and policy frameworks, including the Public Health Act of 2023 and national health strategies. The Free Healthcare Initiative continues to provide essential services to pregnant women, lactating mothers, and children under 5, while the recruitment of thousands of health workers and the deployment of community health workers have strengthened service delivery, including in hard-to-reach areas. Notable progress has been recorded in maternal, newborn, child, and adolescent health. Maternal mortality has declined substantially, reflecting expanded access to skilled care and strengthened reproductive health interventions. Adolescent-friendly health services have been scaled up, including through schools and dedicated service hubs, while access to contraceptives has improved, contributing to better sexual and reproductive health outcomes. Preventive measures, including cervical cancer vaccination and screening, alongside the establishment of special care baby units and one-stop centers for survivors of sexual and gender-based violence, have further strengthened the health system's responsiveness. Notwithstanding these gains, challenges persist, including high adolescent pregnancy rates, disparities in access to quality services, and broader structural constraints affecting health outcomes. In this context, government remains committed to undertaking necessary reforms to strengthen the health system and ensure the full realization of the right to health. This includes ongoing consideration of the Safe Motherhood and Reproductive Health Bill, which, once enacted, is expected to expand access to comprehensive sexual and reproductive health services, including family planning and regulated reproductive health care, in line with national priorities and international obligations. In the education sector, the government continues to implement the free quality school education program, which has significantly reduced financial barriers and contributed to increased enrollment at all levels, particularly for girls and children from vulnerable backgrounds. The program provides free school meals, tuition-free schooling, learning materials, and public examination fees, and is complemented by inclusive policies such as the Radical Inclusion Policy, aimed at improving access for marginalized groups, including pregnant girls and children with disabilities. Ongoing reforms in teacher management, curriculum development, and school infrastructure are contributing to improved retention and learning outcomes, although challenges related to quality and capacity remain. In September last year, building on these domestic achievements, Sierra Leone assumed a leadership role at the international level by exploring and elaborating on the fourth optional protocol to the Convention on the Rights of the Child. In the area of social protection, the government has adopted the National Social Protection Strategy 2022 to 2026, which applies a life cycle approach to addressing vulnerability across different population groups, including children, youth, persons with disabilities, and low-income households. Whilst progress has been made in expanding social assistance programs and strengthening delivery systems, coverage gaps persist, particularly among workers in the informal sector. The government therefore continues to prioritize the expansion of inclusive and sustainable social protection systems, supported by improved targeting, digital delivery mechanisms, and enhanced coordination across institutions. Sierra Leone has also continued to strengthen its commitment to environmental protection and sustainable development, recognizing the acute vulnerability of the country to climate change, including sea levels, coastal erosion, flooding, and deforestation. The government has adopted policy and legislative measures to address these challenges, including the implementation of national climate action frameworks, reforestation initiatives, and strengthened environmental governance through the Environmental Protection Agency and the Ministry of Environment and Climate Change, which was created in 2023. The creation of this new ministry followed the government's decision to elevate environmental governance and climate policy to cabinet level, reflecting the country's increasing focus on climate resilience, environmental protection, and sustainable development. This institutional reform aligns with Sierra Leone's broader commitment under international environmental agreements and its national development priorities. On the international front, during the 2021 to 2026 UPR reporting period, Sierra Leone has reaffirmed its commitment to global environmental governance framework through the ratification of key instruments, including the Biodiversity Beyond National Jurisdiction (BBNJ) Agreement and the United Nations Fish Stocks Agreement, reflecting our commitment to the sustainable management of marine resources and the protection of global biodiversity. Sierra Leone also remains engaged in the implementation of its obligations under other multilateral environmental agreements, including the Paris Agreement on climate change. Notwithstanding ongoing national efforts, Sierra Leone, like many developing and low-income countries, continues to face significant structural challenges, including limited financial resources, constrained institutional capacity, and the disproportionate impact of climate change on vulnerable communities, particularly in coastal and rural areas, despite contributing minimally to the global greenhouse gas emissions. These realities underscore the principle of common but differentiated responsibilities and respective capabilities as enshrined in international climate agreements. This principle formed the basis of Sierra Leone's submissions as one of few countries to participate in advisory opinion proceedings on questions of state responsibility for climate change and the human rights implications of climate change before the International Tribunal for the Law of the Sea and the International Court of Justice. As we stated before these tribunals, for Sierra Leone, climate change is a human rights issue. In this regard, Sierra Leone underscores the urgent need for enhanced international cooperation, including predictable, adequate, and accessible climate finance, as well as strengthened support for technology transfer and capacity building to enable developing countries to effectively respond to climate change and environmental challenges. Sierra Leone also notes the importance of the principles of equity and common but differentiated responsibilities and respective capabilities under the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change and the Paris Agreement. Sierra Leone encourages continued efforts by all states to strengthen global climate action in a manner that is fair, that is balanced, and that is responsive to the needs and circumstances of the most vulnerable countries. Sierra Leone continues to work closely with international partners to strengthen resilience, to enhance climate adaptation measures, and to promote sustainable natural resource management, whilst advocating for a more equitable global climate governance framework that supports vulnerable countries in safeguarding human rights in the context of climate change. Madam Vice President, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, I'd like to talk about our commitments and the way forward. We know that despite the progress that we have made, challenges remain, including those in the justice system that affect detention, overcrowding, delays in the justice system, gaps in health, gaps in education service delivery, and socio-cultural barriers affecting gender equality and child protection. Sierra Leone wishes to reaffirm its commitment to addressing these challenges through targeted measures, including strengthening engagement with civil society, increasing investment in education, increasing investment in infrastructure, advancing reproductive health legislation, and enhancing responses to sexual and gender-based violence. Sierra Leone will continue to implement reforms under its medium-term National Development Plan 2024 to 2030, aligned with the Sustainable Development Goals as the country's primary framework for inclusive development and human capital advancement. Your Excellency, on voluntary pledges, allow me to first provide an update on the pledges made by Sierra Leone during the third review cycle. Sierra Leone pledged to abolish the death penalty, to legislate a minimum age of criminal responsibility for minors, and to conclude the constitutional review process. Excellencies, I am pleased to inform you that in 2022, our country enacted the Abolition Act, which effectively abolished the death penalty for all criminal offenses. And in 2025, we enacted the Child Rights Act, which established the age of 14 as universal age of criminal responsibility. While the constitutional review process is yet to be concluded, we have made significant progress in taking the process forward. As I speak, we have a constitutional amendment bill in Parliament. We are undertaking a robust public education program on the constitutional review process, and as noted earlier, we will conclude the process with a referendum to be held on or around the 2028 elections. As we move forward, Sierra Leone now wishes to make the following pledges. Following the abolition of the death penalty in domestic law, the government of Sierra Leone reaffirms its commitment to the full protection of the right to life and to the irreversible abolition of capital punishment. In this regard, Sierra Leone is taking steps forward towards ratification of the second optional protocol to the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, aiming at the abolition of the death penalty. The necessary domestic procedures for parliamentary consideration and approval have already commenced, and the government intends, upon completion of these procedures, to proceed with the formal deposit of its instrument of ratification with the Secretary General of the United Nations. We pledge to take concrete steps towards decriminalizing poverty, including through the review and decriminalization of petty offenses that disproportionately affect vulnerable and marginalized populations. Sierra Leone also reiterates its commitment to conclude the constitutional review process and to ensure that the new and improved constitution strengthens human rights protection in the country. Excellencies, in conclusion, Sierra Leone affirms its strong commitment to the full implementation of the Universal Periodic Review recommendations and to the continued strengthening of its human rights framework. The government remains determined to build on the progress achieved, to address remaining challenges, and to advance a just, inclusive, and rights-based society grounded in dignity, in equality, and in the rule of law. In a spirit of dialogue, cooperation, and shared commitment to the promotion, protection, and fulfillment of fundamental rights, Sierra Leone stands ready to engage constructively with all delegations. Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I thank you.
Well, welcome back. That's not the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Alpha Cisse, being the present Sierra Leone statement na the Universal Periodic Review na Geneva. This na a meeting usai countries the human rights record are being reviewed by other countries. So they never go into Q&A sessions. They never ask questions them about the statement we make. We go keep an eye on this. We go bring una updates as things and they unfold. But we can't get a conversation this morning clearly on human rights issues. Some of the things them way the AG mentioned, we get to do with prolonged detention, petty offenses. We can't talk to the Human Rights Commission, Abdul Fatoma of Chadi, and the Correctional Service. Continue for stay with you, but this morning, they continue for wish His Excellency happy birthday. Pray that God continue for give the strength, wisdom, and understanding for continue for do the things that we right and make this place a better place. We wish you, on behalf of all of we at Truth Media and His Excellency, we wish you happy birthday. But as well, we take this time as you compatriot them, as you citizen them, they remind you about the things them, the challenges them we Sierra Leoneans and they face as well, the problem them they happen, things that we be not commit yourself to for address as well. We use this time for remind you as we president, you are our president, so we take this time as well as you reflect on this birthday for remind you as well about the things them where you compatriot them, other citizens them, the challenges them within they go through. We wish you the very best and hope say you will celebrate many more birthdays in coming years. We will take a birthday song, right? Then we come join with guests them pretty soon. Continue for stay with me.
Ooh, yeah. Very, very many happy returns. Gift. They call this small, they call this cheap, but I know you will appreciate. Ooh, yeah, I wish you a happy birthday. Ooh, yeah, very, very many happy returns. Ooh, yeah, I wish you a happy birthday.
Find some. When you watch me, I go watch you. How you find some?
want to. Makoro, how you find so? If you see me say pussy. Makoro, how you find so? When you give me say pussy. Makoro, how you find so? If you need me say pussy. Makoro, how you find so?
Are you tired of waiting in long lines at the bank? Say hello to Omnolite, your ultimate banking solution from EcoBank. With Omnolite, managing your finances has never been easier. Here's why. Omnolite allows you to enjoy easy access to your account information across multiple countries. Monitor your accounts in real time from the comfort of your home or office. Rest assured, with Omnolite, all your online transactions are guaranteed secure. Do you need to transfer funds? No problem. Whether it's domestic or international, Omnolite has got you covered. Make multiple payments effortlessly with our convenient multiple transfer service. And paying bills is a breeze with Quick Bill Pay. Plus, schedule future payments hassle-free with standing order. Want a checkbook? Just request it on Omnolite and it will be delivered to your doorstep within 10 working days. Experience the convenience and efficiency of Omnolite today. Visit us online or at your nearest EcoBank branch to learn more. A better way, a better Africa.
When starting your day, getting fit is the first step. When the hustle starts, nothing should stall you. When it's time to plan your future, saving should be easy. When you're ready to expand, no room for excuses. When your child needs relief, waiting isn't an option. And if it's you asking, no isn't an answer. Because for us, when it comes to banking, it's all about you.
Orange Maxis gets flexible data and voice plans them we go fit you lifestyle. Try the Collapse Mini for just 70 Leone and get 2.5 Mbps speed for 7 days. You can need data anytime. Your bundle they give you fast internet anytime you day. For you can prefer customized plan. Your own bundle they make you select the exact data and voice package where you need. Find the best data and voice option now on Maxit. Download the app and stay connected.
Orange. Welcome back. This is the Truth Morning Devotion on Truth FM 103.9 with the broadcast live from the studios na Ilkot na Freetown. And we want to join the Leone community and every other person on behalf of we, for which His Excellency happy birthday. And we can go into a conversation on human rights. You just watch the Attorney General Minister of Justice don't present Leone in position na the Universal Periodic Review, the UPR, where they go on na Geneva presently. And after in presentation, they for going to Q&A, they for ask questions. So hopefully we will bring updates on that as and when things then they happen. But this morning, we can look at different issues that we get for do with human rights. Very recently, the Human Rights Commission been pull a report where them say human rights, when they title Human Rights Behind Bars, a report on the situation of correctional centers in Leone. And for get this conversation, I get with we in the studio, Superintendent Nana Sise, we in the head of Media and Public Relations and the Leone Correctional Service. Good morning, Superintendent, and welcome.
Lamrana.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us. Also, I'm sure if you follow Chadi and Abdul Fatoma, you don't see the reports where they do continuously on police detention facilities, mostly in Freetown, and report them where they show human rights issues over detention. So this morning they can talk about that as well as again for do with rights issues. Good morning, Abdul, and welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Ba.
Thank you. I also have been joined in the studio by the Vice Chairman of the Human Rights Commission, Victor Lansana, my good friend and brother. Good morning and welcome.
It's a pleasure to always be here. Good morning.
Yeah, thank you. I've been the check yesterday. I say Victor no day is in Geneva. But I'm sure you follow the presentation of the AG on we human rights, state of human rights, and I know you've attended this and don't represent Salon. This process, what does it mean for we human rights status as a country? Usai other countries them they go do peer review, ask quick questions, and check about the things they will do right, the things they will they do wrong.
Yes, it's a very good process. It is a very good process because, like you say, it gives opportunity to other countries them for look at your human rights situation, human rights condition in your country, and then say we believe you can do more even if you have done well, but there are several other areas you can actually improve on. So it's like having an independent body looking at your work and recommending to you that you can do better, in certain areas. I mean, it's also an opportunity for countries them actually learn how others, other countries and other states them, they actually go about for address the human rights challenges.
Mhm.
So just to put it in perspective, this process now a voluntary process. No state is forced or coerced to be part of it. It started in 2011, and Sierra Leone was first assessed in 2011. And like I say, it means about 193 states. Then within the UN family, then they gather and actually assess human rights generally of the member states. Then, so. For Sierra Leone, in 2021, now we get to last assessment as a state, as a country.
Mm.
And during that 2021 assessment day, several states then they make recommendations. Then we total to about 274 recommendations. Broadly, whether it's about civil and political rights, economic, social and cultural rights. Broadly, and the development rights then. So Sierra Leone as a state, then take the recommendation in the government come back home, they do consultations with civil rights organizations, traditional leaders, MDAs, and then at the end of the day, government return, go to Geneva and say, after we consultations, we don't accept about 216 of these recommendations, and then we don't note about 58 of them. So that means that therefore that once you go out there on the international stage voluntarily and say you are part of this process, you accept recommendation A or from A to Z as the case may be, you are obligated under international human rights law and under international human rights, customary law for make sure you take those recommendations and fulfill them, implement them, so that by the next cycle you go report about the recommendation that we say you accept, and you will make sure you implement them.
Okay.
So that is what we have seen. The AG don't go for good for make like you give your report card. I came here in 2021. We said A, B, and C we accept. This is what we have done so far. These are the challenges, and we make voluntary pledges for going forward. So we have been monitoring since 2021. We government accept those recommendations, and our monitoring, of course, have been monitoring reports. We document them, and we also submit what we call alternative reports or shadow reports. So the same UN Council, is separate and distinct from waiting government they submit. Or government say they submit a state report, and we own reports. It's not known to government. Government don't know the contents of it.
Okay.
So the way government go down, present some kind of if you like call it flashy or some very good report, the Human Rights Commission comes to and says, this is an independent report, shadow report, to show how we monitoring, exercises actually don't find out during the course of this period of implementation.
Okay.
So, like I say, all of the three categories of rights, civil and political rights, economic, social and cultural rights, and development rights, they are all embedded in our reports. Yes.
Okay.
And yes, we note a lot of progress governments make, but also there are challenges, in terms of the human rights records of the country, particularly on the second generation of rights, the economic, social, and cultural rights. These are rights we government, the interventions, even for media practitioners or civil society organizations and activists, then we have to really re-energize and change the trajectory, change the discussion. The discussion over years, has been really about civil and political rights. Leaving out the second generation of rights, which for the Chinese say, an empty bag cannot stand. If you are able to fulfill, these rights, economic, social, and cultural rights, whether I go for rights to education, employment, healthcare, and so on and so forth, water. These are for us the cardinal human rights issues that we government for really pay so much attention to. But all of it.
And in your report, highlights that with the achievement
yes.
Some of the things that the AG talk about get for do with the rights them way they talk about. So we talk about addressing poverty through court cases, reducing them petty offenses and all of that. But specifically, what are some of the things that we want to highlight now in your report about economic rights?
Yes, so I note the AG in point on petty offences. We not also see we don't get a new law, the Criminal Procedure Act of 2025, that one, 2024. That one, able for make sure say some of those offences we be done over the years. For over 65 years, we criminalize poverty. The criminal offences, the Criminal Procedure Act don't able for make sure say, they change the kind of punishment you will get when they find you guilty of such offences. But while we note that and commend government for doing so, for passing the Criminal Procedure Act, we believe say on the issue of poverty, the recommendation that will be come out from 2021 review. We get much more for go. We have a very long way to go as a state for addressing those recommendations relating to poverty. We are all. We are here. Nobody no need for tell you what did happen. Okay, what's not the status of people in this country. So we believe, say government. Yes, we agree. Government do well in terms of budget allocation to, for instance, in terms of education, because education really is what takes a country away from poverty. Government still continue within this last 5 years, continue for pull the budget allocation of 21%. But then also we not see, for instance, core textbooks is still a challenge to several schools. Then, people don't even forget. Many people don't even forget those core textbooks. We go able for make sure say they're able for follow their lessons and study well and able for at the end of the day, they acquire the required education, level of education. We will set them up for the job market.
They can't to Abdul Fatoma quickly, but quickly on civil and political rights. One of the things we the minister talk about now. Free speech, freedom of expression, and all of that. What's in Unayon reports they say on this? Because I know you do a lot of monitoring locally for understand the space and how things they happen. What's in Unayon reports on this?
Yes, we not say government did well in terms of taking off the criminal libel laws. We either to actually criminalize free speech. But then further and above that, we also not see we have had challenges over the years. With the introduction of the cybersecurity acts, we have been having challenges. A lot of law enforcement officers don't they misuse certain provisions of that act. So we flag that up and make recommendations accordingly. So citizens have to understand, just as government we always say, all of us, we have a duty to make sure that we grow up our democracy to become decent, to become vibrant, and to become accountable. So citizens and government, they have to understand that they have to be accountable. Government has to be accountable to the people of this country. The people themselves have to be accountable, because if you look at the constitution of Sierra Leone's 1991 constitution, where a lot of people they cry down, it presents a picture where it says government has a bigger obligation. If you look at section 5 of that constitution, subsection 2 and paragraph B, they tell you, say, the welfare and the security of the people of Sierra Leone rests squarely on the shoulders of government. That means a lot. Welfare and security. So in other words, government for do everything possible for make sure say the welfare of people, of citizens of this country are catered for, and also make sure say the security of the country is stable, and everybody go able for operate within the law.
Okay.
But the same constitution, under section 13, it also places a duty or obligation on the citizens of this country. For say, you be patriotic, you be nationalistic, not begin to put out very bad image of the country out there to the world. For let you scare investors for come and invest into the country. And he also say, even the one that we parents them, he say you get to make sure say you bring up your pikin in a way it will be a very good citizen in the country. But since the end of the war, we don't see families that don't book down. A lot of picking them just there about. They mean themselves. He also say inside the same section 13, they say, as citizens, wherever you did in the community, you therefore contribute towards law and order. You got to make sure say you assist law enforcement authorities then for make sure say there is law and order in the community.
Okay.
So you see say now a two-way approach. Government, yes, then get the luxury. Get SUVs, they get salaries, they get A, B, and C. Okay, so then gets the higher obligation for make sure say the welfare of the people of this country, is catered for. But at the same time also, the constitution say citizens, every citizen get a duty for make sure say we promote good citizenship. By being loyal to the country. In fact, it say. That particular section is section 13 say, it said the love and loyalty where you forget for Sierra Leone. It say if you supersede any other loyalty, even states and say including political loyalty, religious loyalty, and whatever form of loyalty we get, ethnic loyalty. So but unfortunately in our country today, our loyalty in many cases, we put them on politics, we put them on political parties then.
Yeah.
Other than the love for the country.
Yeah.
So but a lot of people don't even know. Say this is a constitutional authority or obligation with people can get. So it doesn't matter whether in fact you are a public servant or you are an ordinary Sierra Leonean who travel for make ends meet. You get an obligation for make sure say the loyalty, the love we get for Salone. If always be above every other love or loyalty we get.
Now that they say at the anthem, Abdul Fatoma, I bring you into this. Why they watch this thing? I imagine say, how could we have the Human Rights Commission? We have a platform like this. Usai, we as citizens, CSO, we can review ourselves. Maybe we meet somewhere, get a national event. Say yes, we review we safe. Say. This is what has been happening. Now the challenges and they were. Now this government believes it don't happen. Then we ask question, But I know you followed. And one of the things that the AG mentioned, as something where you don't mention continuously, with judiciary, with police, and even the Human Rights Commission in the recent reports mentioned overcrowding our correctional service, correctional centers. But what's in them process here mean whilst we they go, review internationally, and sometimes where people like do them internally, it's seen in a different way. How do we internalize then kind of review there?
Well, as a country, we don't make progress in terms of reviewing we laws them and introduce a new one. And even when you look the review process, when the country they present, you see that say from 2021 to 2025, progress they will make in terms of reviewing the laws or bringing in new laws. Like from 2022, 2024, and 2025, we get acts that we come in, we promising, but largely challenging based on resources. For example, the Criminal Procedure Act, where also the AG make a lot of emphasis on, it gives a very good picture of a promising side of them, not the current existing side of them. For example, it's good for introduce now, say, where you go make statement at police, you forget a photocopy of your statement. So your lawyer exactly go able for know what you say na police. So if they go defend you, it is able for give more further legal advice. Either una can go do a pre-bargain arrangement with the DPP or the police for let the matter not go, because they know, say, the statement where you make without a legal representative, it already don't incriminate you. So now a good practice. But now we go to police post and police stations, they don't get even photocopy. They don't get printer. They don't get laptops. That are the challenge where police then they go through. And most time, even the suspect, they not get money. Now some police officers, based on the vulnerability of them people, then they pull money in their own pocket and support them people, then they for go photocopy outside. Then within the process, cabinet already don't approve, the draft bill on data protection.
Yeah.
If we take that to Parliament and pass them, then you take somebody in statement, na street for go photocopy. Now the photocopier they will get again memory. Are they able for recall back all papers away we don't photocopy from that copier? So clearly, are they able to get details of people them? And imagine that everybody in this country now a suspect for laying in police custody. Everybody except the president and maybe the vice president, or some few people based on the power we go surround them. But in reality, we don't see MDA, Director General them and others them, they don't arrest them or you be former. Imagine a suspect. You don't go narrate a private stories part of the investigation questions them. And now a man where they run internet cafe or photocopier printing, get their information and they can easily take them and sell her. So if you want to be somebody in politics, then can easily pass that off and then blackmail you or then harass you with that. So these are, the challenges in terms of building law, but we not build the infrastructure way for support the smooth operation or the implementation of that law. And then the other thing again, when you look at the compliance level, it's very, very low. The law say where you owe somebody for minor crime, enough for the day beyond 72 hours. But look, we go na Central Police. A common, we don't tell the police then this several times. Somebody own 300 and something Leone. We meet her, spend 4 days. Now just it trust somebody, then the person say they go to the police. They go to the police take statement from her and throw her na cell. So just for that small amount, he did it. The food where then they pull at the correctional center, now that food they then they survive. Then we don't meet somebody, they wait on there for 76 days. Because he commits crime alongside the border and then bring and come. So the Guinean police officers will be taking statement, then do the statement in French. Now the statement come Freetown. The only by law, the only legit body, you get to go through Ministry of Foreign Affairs for translation. So you don't go Ministry of Foreign Affairs, you don't take number of days with no hope as to when that need for come. For let even then get that statement first, that be problem. So the man already spent more than 72. Then, you go Roscoe police station. You get similar case, the pa in Peking, they allege them for murder. Then don't charge them to court. Even though they don't charge them to court, we still meet them in a police detention for 3 days after they don't charge them. But this is not common thing.
Yeah.
We don't record this in a Lumley police station, Roscoe, Central.
But
then they charge people then to court, but then still they police custody.
That's the point. You've been highlighting this. Not to the first one this. By the way, I reach out to the police for get them on this conversation. They say we need for write officially because it's a report. Then go look at them and see that they go send for can talk on behalf of the police. But yeah, we invite them. We thought it would have been, they should have been part of this conversation. But the point is, you don't raise this concern continuously. I remember there was a point where the police facilitates, was it a training? Follow you get with police officers.
Now we do with them.
Yes. But why things don't change? Especially expecting the right aspect of people them. Look, at the read just now, minors them underage. Yeah. You find them with adults them. Na police and a Freetown, this not to apply now. Yeah. People them prolonged detention, don't they not detention for days. People and they forget about themselves. Yeah. Why is it not changing?
Well, first, let me say the Inspector General of Police, I get high respect for him for one thing, because I be shocked for the police open the door to we, and it really assure we say they're not going to interfere with work, and even where some of in police officers and they block we team at some station. The moment we report either to any AIG or the IGP, we get immediate response in terms of addressing them. It open up, it say, Mr. Fatoma, this way when they do so, they help we follow, we improve. So based on that, when we do we first monitoring presentation to her, now I say, well, now you don't find with problem there. Help we follow find solution. The first solution, we say training, say I like that. We they provide with training hall, and then you come with your expertise and other thing, we partner. So we partner with them for train the first batch when I be 138 police officers. Mm-hmm. When I be lock up and crime officers them across Western area, urban and rural. So we also get a pending, and training at the regional towns them. We go Port Local, we go McKinney, we go also Kenema. And these now in partnership with the Sierra Leone police. They also help them now for see how then they capture data. Because some station then they will be the go and we will steal the go or some post. Now one A4 paper then they write. If we ask for yesterday, log sheet, they don't get time. Mm-hmm. They again, nobody no trace, even a photocopy of are not available. A officer go tell you say that we buy ledger. So the other one where they buy ledger, where they go if they move them, they don't know who say he put the ledger or he go with her. So a new ledger they create. So we try for now find a way for put different nationalities where they meet and we police custody. For let we get more detail, the date of birth and everything. So they help them also for develop a good data gathering. So then you see now with the published legal representation. Mm-hmm. So when you look at over these 3 visits what we do, we interface with 900 something. Then out of that 900 something, we get 908 people we not get legal representation. With the legal aid board, for them actually they step in because of the purpose of the legal aid board. The government of Sierra Leone, supposedly, the UNDP been the support. I don't know if you still the UNDP, they continue for giving that support for ensure say they represent people that were not able for afford. But now we don't see say that they seriously lacking. And I mean, you dey go na like.
But Abdul, the police are able to tell you actually why some of them things here they happen. Especially the things of because you're able to identify minor. Say this is a small pikin, no need for the with adults in a detention facility. And this person, it don't take this much days na ya, and we don't need for keep them beyond the law. They're able. Is it that they don't understand what they're doing, or no? It's just something that is normalized.
It's normalized, but then it comes with factors because they really engage them. So one of the things they tell one, if somebody can't let somebody say this, it don't go broke me shop, you don't take me property, don't take me phone, then it not come again at police. The police say if they left him, it go. If that person they get influence in the country, they talk to any senior police officer. Then you, the arresting officer or the officer will be there in charge of that case, will release that person. Then they tell you, let you go fena. If you not bring anka, the property where that person they allege say a thief, now you, the police officer, go give. So the people them say from the mega source, they know one for do then thing and then take the money in their hand, or even police officers then don't go na sell. Because of they release somebody where the complainer not been they come again. Police officers they don't tell me that. And some then they not even don't lost their work. We find police officer and CID where be spend 6 months. Now we intervention make them charge in a court. If they wait for legal advice from DPP, it did it for 6 good months. Now only when we intervene, now they're able for expedite in process and charge them. So when you look at police officers, then they go through a lot of challenge. Same to the correctional service.
Yeah.
But we from outside, they blame the police a lot that we expect them for do this, we expect them for do that. But when you interface with them and see the deployable conditions the way then they work, and the materials that were not available for them work, it sure clearly say government they do a full commitment for support the security sector in this country, where the government need for do that one day.
Okay.
Lamrana, we don't get specialized cells for picking them. So now it make the available resources within the police they use.
Yes, yeah.
So the moment you go picking, they look here, the next thing say go join.
Yeah.
So or then put her on the counter.
Yeah.
Imagine inside Freetown we get 11 facility out of 15 where would they visit. So now only 2 not get picking.
So every other place,
every other only 4 not get, but 11 out of 15. Everyone we go to with the picking and day. If you go like Eastern Police, get the darkest cell for woman there. If woman go yonder, it come on. If he spend 6 months there, like when some man and he spend 6 months, I don't think he go get good eyesight. You talk about like New England, you they pass there, you they see, you they smell.
Yeah.
You they actually smell the odor. So when we can get training, we they grade the stations that we clean. That can motivate them for clean.
Okay.
For example, the most clean police station where they visit na Adelaide Street. They only challenge then get change. Then get boku change. They change them bokude that the inmate then they complain to we that if you see where then they come on. And the most dirty one at this New England, yeah. We don't talk to them.
Right in the center.
That one they dirty. I mean, like Lumley be dirty, they smell. But when they actually talk to them, they improve. Aberdeen, before they move from the old structure to the new one, they have been the smell. But when they flag them up, then begin they clean. Eastern Police, the LUC way they, because we talk about, the phone contact and bowl. They go buy bowl for the inmate them. Because there is a bucket.
Oh, they can't talk about the sanitation business.
So, the police themselves, then they go through a lot.
Yeah, I know. Because they're humans too. Then go and let the facility them be better. That bring Superintendent Nana Sise into this conversation. earlier I mentioned the reports with the Human Rights Commission do, and then call Human Rights Behind Bars, a report on the situation of correctional centers. And I just read, the opening, the chairperson in forward, and one side will catch my attention now that he say, during the course of the research, HICSL observed that the conditions under which persons behind bars are kept are appalling. Perennial issues in relation to overcrowding, lack of beddings, lack of lifelong learning opportunities, and poor sanitary conditions were raised as serious human rights concerns. You know, where Abdul talk about the bed bug, then just see they know they laugh. But this that the Human Rights Commission do this report. Una self now because una accept this, una accept the findings in this report.
Lamrana, this is not a new thing. We and the Human Rights Commission done the work for a very long time. And even as an institution, we get a whole unit. We be fortunate to be part of the team. We go do a course on human rights audit. When a colleague of mine, when we all be do the course, self they head that unit today. We self can conduct our own human rights audit within we centers them before the external one then can come in. And this my colleague self can bring out their own recommendation them from center to center. Well, like as the officer in charge then now, we then recommendation and why we they do them internally. Now for make we clean we like when they say clean yours before stranger they come. So like if the human rights then can now for do their own human rights audit, we get a checklist in human rights auditing where like then go say met, not met, and partly met. So like the human rights when they self-conduct their own, then go clearly state say this una meet, this una not meet this una partly meet That's a help because they create a room for improvement. So like the officer in charge now at that particular center they now go no say, oh, I need for work on A, B, C, and D within my center for make I improve before and well before they go come the next term. But the issue is we not get the power for determine we numbers them. The time when them build them facilities there will they use the population of Sierra Leone not be there as high as it is so now. And we still they use the same facilities them like how we can say we make do with what we get. We still they manage with the same old facilities them whilst we say they push very hard for make the one that we responsible for take care of we institution know exactly waiting how we challenges them and we constrains them for make themselves come in and help. Like overcrowding we all go say na a cliche now.
Yeah.
I not say now overuse phrase here over here. Then still they make mention in the report of overcrowding. And assure themselves get their own recommendation them what they can do for we line ministries them where they for take care of we. One thing we make always say, may themselves not just do the recommendation they also and left them.
Apart from the overcrowding, the issue of sanitation, the issue of where the report highlights, that is very important. You can waiting at the challenge with that. They get enough water, they get enough health, support with medication and all of that for the inmates.
Well, like we support they come in for the medical quarterly. Then they can supply the drugs. Then the regional health now western area go distribute the medicine and at the different side away. Each and every person where they in charge of the sick bay at the center go come and collect in own and go back at the center for treat the inmates them. But just like I tell you so. I will come in with a practical example. You then are overcrowded those. You there, each and every person gets in your way they behave. Some people come up from different background, can they now we center them. You there, maybe you're not that kind neat person, clean person. You go down clean them because then they clean them toilet them by ton. Maybe today na cell 1, tomorrow go be cell 2. Sometimes they go down clean. One person go just come up from nowhere and you don't say so they get their own leadership within the center and get them provoke them with the monitor all thing within the centers them. Then go down clean, don't put a law say well where you come the way they can use the toilet, for coming with half bucket water, if you come with full one, so that you will clean up again after all things. But just like what they say, all man differ. Some man go begin argue back. Hey, if I'm unable to out full bucket and have that, I'll go begin pass the provoke him, because say we get a chain of command. We'll go to the officer in charge of the yard. When she says self, he say one time and I go bring unto me. If me says say, oh, this no, you don't go beyond me, I carry and go now to the officer, because myself right now I the act as deputy at the Freetown Female Correctional Center, where virtually way they just seem like you in a school system. The only different now where they deal with inmates that will commit different crime, while school they deal with people that will come up from different background as well. But the sanitation, you don't have big yard, una too boku. You not going even get 100% cleanliness, so you expect.
But we not get with the crowding as well. Are there the facilities? Una they get enough water?
We get enough water because if you go safe now, Pademba Road, and even the center where me say come on, even other centers them, you see so we get a mill tanks there, so we can store water. Because in case pump, say pump safe can get in your way open so today to mine open. So because we get that reserve now that water they we use for the day where the pump not go open. And we Guma Valley safe can come in and can supply water for Pademba Road, say the your number, they overwhelm bad with inmates them. Then can come in and but just like we tell the so maybe then go down clean. Other person come up from nowhere, just mess up you. Sometimes say them go they ask, nobody not going up say, oh now maybe go use the someone can even go use it. They say I forget for care. Can you imagine? I forget for care water. Pass like sometimes you be sit down at the runway, you see the person where be they go. Now you go say, oh I see now nana be go there. And not care water. Then for me, you own up safe, you go can like the person say, well, they go tell manager. With that, manager na forget and not be care water. Now they say go take water, come now and clean up. But we self they do we own beat as officers them. Make sure we they monitor because we the till another shift come, like we saw with the main shift, we can if court no can't say 7 o'clock, we go there they say 7 o'clock. So if you can't do that kind side, that kind of order waiting not good for you yourself health, let alone the inmates them. So we not can get that chance there. We can show them clean the place, they clean, but just like what I say, you go on clean, they don't even know that they can
overcrowding a very big challenge.
Very big challenge.
Let's come with Victor into this. What's in are the fear and the threats to this? Like she said, we've been talking about overcrowding for we correctional center, especially this na Freetown, like every other time. And what's in are the challenge where this pose? So not only the health care, but even issues of the challenge where then they face as people them where they prove. Because in the report, una clearly mentioned personnel strength and condition of service. What's in the threats where this they pose to even their own capacity?
Lamana, it's a very important question. But just to say, the threat and the fear, lie in the fact say all of us in this studio, are potential suspects or inmates, who can be, imprisoned. So while we have the opportunity, we have to fix our correctional centers, or we have to fix our society. You don't have to wait until you're in a disadvantaged position and begin to cry for corrections or for fixing the system. Just like that is why who they advocate for disability. We say we are all potential disabled people. Because it only takes you, for make you go out of the house. You get the potential for either you involve, Okada bang you, Keke bang you, or even your motor car you use. So within a twinkle of an eye, you become a person living with disability. So what this means for us is that while we say human rights, they are universal, but then also let's come back home and look at what is happening. The situation that we found out is very gloomy, personnel. Because, for instance, we know, say, most of these correctional centers, the prison there, now colonial make up them. Colonial, I mean, they were built during the colonial era. And, of course, time we don't evolve. We don't, the number of people we get.
Yeah.
I mean, 8 million, 8.5 million. And as far as there is human existence, crime continue for persist every day. Okay. So what we say on a daily basis is that let us pick the low-hanging fruit. These low-hanging fruit are those things that we can do really well with capacity. Now we have a situation, for instance. Initially, they talk about picking them, they mix them up with adults. Exactly. I don't tell you that one.
Yeah.
Then you ask the question: how many remand homes do we have in Sierra Leone? The whole of Sierra Leone. I remember we have one in Freetown.
Yeah.
And one in Bo. You know the number of picking we get, where they come in conflict with the law on a daily basis. So, like Fatima say, it turns so. See, you just say, okay, look, I'm going to that.
But Victor, the point is these are issues where why are we not moving beyond, because these are like you said, are the low-hanging fruits, and they're fundamental human rights issues them will for able to address.
Yeah. So I'm saying, I mean, it's not like something we just say the blame is here alone.
Who would have to take responsibility?
First of all, the state, like I tell you just now, Section 5, subsection 2, paragraph B of the Constitution say the security and welfare of the people of Sierra Leone rest on the shoulders of government, and government in that constitution, in that section, it means the security sector, for instance. So, for instance, the Sierra Leone Correctional Center, or the police, the military, and public servants, and so on and so forth. So, the government get the obligation for make sure say they treat this issue seriously. I mean, year in, year out, we they put out a report. We they make sure say we publish a report. We they also engage, like how they do engagement so now. We they even go one-on-one engagement. We they do training, for whether na police, whether na correctional personnel. So we get a problem where the more you do things for let things and change, it's like you're not doing anything. Because you go back, the same issue of hygiene, overcrowding, or food, or they are still there. Like nothing changes.
Is it about resource constraint?
So that is one.
Is it about personnel?
So,
is it about leadership?
So come. So the forerunner is about resources and logistics. The police or correctional services, correctional service, they don't have the required resources and logistics for tackle these challenges. They don't. And of course, I mean, sometimes mismanagement comes in as well, even with the little or the meager resources that is available. So that just compounds the problem. You have little resources, and then there is mismanagement. So
one of the things,
and then there's also the moral aspect of it.
Yes. Now that I want to ask about, it's very important. So when I say many personnel informed HRCSL that their conditions of service were grossly unsatisfactory,
of course,
and revealed persistent challenges. They complained that the salary was meager, below their counterparts in the security sector, and was barely enough to meet their needs. Here are people who they expect much from managed and overcrowded correctional center, and even their own condition of service is a very serious challenge, Victor. So what side will they put this all human rights thing where they Geneva so they talk about?
The adage you say, to whom much is given, much is expected, right? But the question is, have we given much to the correctional service? I'm not sure I've given much. This is exactly the picture what you have just read from our report. The conditions of service, very appalling. That we have to accept and then try to find ways, to address them. We have, a council that is headed by the vice president, the police council, and basically we able for provide oversight and make sure even advocate for more resources. But again, Lamana, the harsh reality is, maybe I don't know if we use this word, I would have said the country's book. The harsh reality is the country.
But there are things that we could prioritize,
yes,
right?
Or the low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
But honestly, we have not been. We don't have the the resources enough for able for actually address we problems them. Mostly really na cost input here. Mostly. So there's much more we have to be innovative enough for we able for address the issues then. And that is why I emphasize that we have to pick the low-hanging fruit. Because if you have to wait until you have all of the resources that you want, you will not do the work. You will not do the job.
Yeah.
So really again, it comes to the leadership, it comes to individual constitution of people. There are people that are just lethargic. It doesn't matter how much you pay them. They are not just committed to work.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Just whether in your private offices, public office is the worst. It's the worst. My experience I don't get, honestly. Look, there are people who just believe, say, what I want is for just go and collect my salary. That I don't need to contribute to anything. Whether things go well, they don't go well, that is their business. Me, a government servant, go collect salary and they move on. So leadership, there are so much, logistics, leadership, the fact of say we don't get enough resources. All of these, compound the problem. So while we go out there now, this world stage and talk about human rights, very nicely, but back home, there are fundamental challenges where I believe say you don't need IMF, you don't need World Bank.
Yeah.
For sort them out.
But that is the point I'm making. How do we? These are compounded issues. Nothing them way. I can say since I started practicing, and since we started, I'm sure before you become lawyer, before you become civil society person, these are issues that would on the say the correctional service center will get so them bill for colonial. It don't they all this while. It's overcrowded. But these are issues we keep discussing. And you think, say, 5-10 years down the line, there will be a plan, a program for address the issues.
Let me talk about that, Lamana.
What do we know to get here? Now, is it that we not prioritize human rights issues or addressing the challenges, and we not invest in them?
I wouldn't say we have not prioritized. I would say again that the resources they are competing interest, for government. So the resources not readily available for we. No, look, the justice sector, generally if you look at it, you will say it's headed by the AG. But as we speak, after how many years do we have an infrastructure that actually houses the AG, the law enforcement department? No. Look at where they are. They conceived an idea sometime, I think in 2021 or so, say that this special court they will buy us. We get a very big facility.
Yeah.
They say they are going to build a justice sector complex. We go house the AG and all then who is the judicial institutions, them like Human Rights Commission of Sierra Leone, Legal Aid Board, Ombudsman's office and others. Okay, but have we been able to do that? No. It's still with this Freetown Mail Correctional Service Center.
Yeah.
There was a project for transfer from Musa Deduso right now
to Songo also.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It just died down.
Yeah.
Just died down.
Abdul Fatoma, I know sometimes it might be tiring, but this is a job we do for highlight the challenges and bring them come out. But as well, you can provide recommendations. How do we get things right with like the low-hanging fruits? You actually focus on the low-hanging fruits. The first point of call, the police cells, how then they? This idea back way I think we get about police cell for one small window, if for dark, if how do we get it right? How do we change these things and expect people to right even where police they detain them until they find them guilty or charge them go court?
I think also we did against several fundamental factors. One primary one get for deal with we attitude as person, not only as a Sierra just with attitude. And then we comes to the finance. And the third one, leadership. So in these three circles, we not a country where we not serious for generate revenue locally. We're so much dependent, and even most of we citizens depend. The moment you don't break in a family, you don't begin get small money, You know, they even do for your own life, plan your life. Your friends and your family members and now depend on you back. So that culture now we don't take as a country that we don't want for raise revenue. We want for make sure say the multilateral organizations that we will be member of, they benefit the way state party for benefit from, with a more crave for them benefit than we grown, you know, we own money domestically and take care of we liability, you know. So now we don't raise revenue. Look how many businesses there in this country. The other time you get the director general and a half for NRA, and they tell you that then they don't bring 4,000. You know, how do you call this thing? GST.
The GST machines.
And then hope for bring car another 4,000. That's complete in seriousness. We get over 30-something thousand businesses running in this country, and you bring 8,000 for monitor for the collect GST. Which kind about? I mean, let me just grade yourself. You they say just not talk internally. Which kind about seriousness you demonstrate? For really collect revenue. The countries that whole they cry to so say EU they control we, US they control we, Britain they control we. Now they own taxpayer money.
Yeah.
So why we say not go take we own taxpayer money and control we own community and control we self? So then VI talk about when we get the little resources in they play diplomacy, because I mean it work for state independent organization. A massive corruption. Not a mismanagement, a blatant, aggressive, and brutal corruption. Now, people then they display in this country. You get people that way go take a whole project money for government infrastructure and go away with them, and then destroy the trace. Then still continue for surviving at this community. They still hail them. Because one, if they contribute to the political party, they say that the man and this way they make. If I will not be there, then they support the constituency.
Then who say for go
so who say you come on, you just come on and you come. You can't meet we. So then that case they left buff. It not go nowhere. That infrastructure for take place for bring improvement, it don't die. So the next other man don't see a very good precept for also be corrupt and fend the same channel for work free. So that culture of impunity. When it comes to attitude, we don't develop most people, you know, if not all of we in this country, but most Sierra Leoneans don't develop that culture of impunity. Say I go do this, it go buff, because I get for fair way for wakaga. So with that culture, we know they expect. When time comes for law do census now, you see APC active, SLPP active. The only reason fundamental
for politics,
not for vote
election.
But they not even think about the social and economic impact where census get and how valid it is for policy development and policy implementation. So for now, the time where we population be small, as we population begin the project, we for don't they know say we they get more crimes we go come. So we budget focus for day. Then when you look internally, most institutions, if you not to don't ask them for right concept, any activity where then they do, they not develop concept. They're not even policy driven. If we do that audit check now, any government institution, majority they fail, if not all. Say then develop concept or neither then develop policy. Say you they get internal policy. But the wrong thing here, you see law graduate then at this country, they don't even know the distinction between policy and regulations or neither legal instrument. They think that's a policy, not even a law. So the layman back when even exposed to that level, he accept where he assume office say if he get policy this na law. So policy they help for let you actually get a frame direction as to what you want for do. So both private institutions, public institutions need for get a policy.
The AG mentioned something we're very important, addressing poverty, and also how do we link some of them things here where they happen, the prolonged detention, petty offenses, so they will address na corner, but that person don't go put in person in a cell. Therefore, the member how for get food every day, how for pay transport something come off, I can see them. How this they affect, especially people where they down there, where they come into contact with the law.
Well, VI Lansana talk about a very important thing, that some of the overcrowding we don't only need for border on the correctional service or the police. It also comes with the attitude of the law officers or the judiciary. Imagine we find out the last time we've been visit February, over 300 and something people not get indictment. They wait. They don't even know what in they wait for.
Now the correctional.
Now the correctional. We'll be go meet 1,802 people them. Over 300 not even know either they for charge them or they not for charge them or them for go. We find out somebody they wait on they for 6-7 years they not get indictment. So the AGB call and talk say we don't try for fast track that, and the other one the way they wait for prolonging trial. They don't talk to the judiciary. So like that one day back, it go over 200 and something. So imagine this is a deliberate attitude. We able for manage them. If we expedite issues them within CID to law officers, now waka police officer then they waka. Some police officer then they waka for a day more than 2 or 3 times. Just for get confirmation on the legal advice another day. So some then they were lazy now one time. In fact, then they even lie to the suspect and family member, then some police officer. Then they lie back, say they don't go. But we'll cross check with the law officer, they say a lie.
And these are people being kept somewhere.
Then they constantly they wait. So it also comes with the attitude, with laziness. You they go to a government office, somebody they talk to you, they cham chingum, the phone they loud, then TikTok then. It don't even get attention to you, just they drag you for let you go to him boss. What's in your name? Who say you come out? With no respect, with serious disregard. But when Mondo say these people that would like me institution.
Well, government, superintendent, the condition of service, we clearly then at this report. It affects on our output because we can be sitting and blaming the correctional service. We waiting on our forget. The cam. It affects on our output and the work on they do as well.
And Lamrana, one thing we make appreciate the report last year and this year, because at first then we just focus on the inmates, left the caregivers them behind. But we self glad the way then self notice say, then people yourself they try, just like we talk but with strength. With the if you go now we centers them, as you enter, you they really know say you don't enter the lions then. When just God go know whether you they come out there alive. Or you not go commodity. But I know say people themselves can they wonder say, then people are not getting no weapon, but see the way where then they go around with the inmates there so. Just because of that whole rapport, where we and them go they talk, we they make a non say we self they feel for una that kind of empathy. We know what una they go through, but una not lose hope. Just come with some practical example, but you young person as says, me say we don't go through so, but because I trust God, now look me on way. You know that kind of courage you can give them. They make them not see you like that kind of bad person. Because in real sense, the crime we then commit not against we the officers them. So I not think for treat them that kind of way. We all hold and say keep them safe and help in their rehabilitation where we they do. But okay, take an example like me. Are they how far? I don't care. Every morning for me I count on time na office. I need for if na bike I dey take. Tell the reach on for go and car go don't spend.
Another official vehicle?
No, another official vehicle. For me I reach on time, maybe I go take bike or if I or keke anyone we available. Just for me I can work on time. Now that my salary that I go take for pay go Sunday for the day you go because you know can the whole day na the office you know it. You go spend past like 100 and more. For the money we them pay you. But we they watch and say, for we own safety, you no need for say, because then give me this kind money and I will come or just be that kind of lethargic person. You just get for come. Because that's money they you know you say go take for make you manage with you and your family. But it's not easy, but we don't say we serve.
Yeah.
We go serve diligently.
We you know, these are issues. I'd imagine you rank. I'd imagine you know, superintendent, the spokesperson for the correctional service and all. You know, you get for hop on a keke, on bike, and for come all the way from I don't care can do you work. You know, some things we as a country for look at them and see how we treat some people like with respect, you know, with the kind of service owner they do. Quickly, I can't go to Victor, but until they were asked, there is another point about rights to food. So once I worry, they say una they join lunch and dinner. So then they get breakfast, but lunch no day, now lunch and dinner combined. Is it that enough no they make una they do that day, or na so una don't use for do?
Well, why we they do that day? Now because of the lock-up time.
Okay.
And you know, say because the number, if we say we they cook the dinner again, say we go they done and they serve, we go done nearly past 6 o'clock. So because of that, we will double the lunch and dinner together. That way the person eat, he go get the other way, go left way, go able for eat for dinner before he go sleep. Because 4 o'clock, we dey lock up them. And we know can sit down they cook, say 6 or 5, say we dey done, and you know say number in, now the number outside the same number for going, and you get for sit down back the check.
Almost compress one inmate say.
One inmate they because na then get na by ounce and they measure the rest way then they give the inmates them. Me not able to exactly because the cook go do about 3 cup to 1 person.
Okay.
Now way you check them, and you convert it into cups
for lunch
for one
and dinner.
yes for one inmate.
Okay.
So now make way you see the bowl, they see say them full up and that way that the person go able eat the lunch and left the other hand for make it eat and for dinner.
When breakfast, waiting on
breakfast na tea we they give them bread and tea.
Butter day?
Yeah, butter day. So butter or mayonnaise.
Nothing knocking inside the
well, na butter and mayonnaise we can just put.
well, the other thing we were asking about, the reports talk about, you know, dietary needs. There are some people who get medical conditions and they eat everything. Una can take that into consideration
yes, because the medical person can tell you say well this person a diabetic person or this person get pressure enough for it, then get their own special, then can make special diets for people with some kind sickness na the center. Then they do and we get special diets, people they on special diets from the medical person in recommendation.
Okay.
So then they hand over then to the cook we go know say oh this person your own food not forget salt, then go down pull their own separate and then give them.
Okay.
What they do them.
Victor, you know, I remember there was this report from is it IGR we could talk about the number of cups of rice, food and all. And some of these things are very important. We might be laughing over them, but it's important for somebody this on sign and then detention and then they determine how they eat, what time they eat, how you they eat and waiting you they eat. Which how not classify, because there are challenges with it clearly in the reports. How not classify then can write there and inmates having access to some of the dietary needs, the food where they need, because like you say, now bread, butter, mayonnaise, tea and rest now in the serve now available in the correctional facilities.
So you see the title of the report, Human Rights Behind Bars. It tells you, for us, human rights do not stop at the doors of detention centers. It goes beyond those doors. So the same rights the person gets with the behind bars, it's the same right that exists out of bars. I mean, for every day, somebody will get freedom. So first of all, I will say to every Sierra Leonean, avoid trouble. Fain will let trouble not meet you. That's the first thing. Because it doesn't matter your status. It doesn't matter who you are, where you cross that line, where you go beyond that. The inconveniences, the discomfort, even for 2 days, for 3 days, it pass back. Whether psychological trauma, emotional trauma, and all of them here. You know, we don't talk about hygiene now. We talk about food. So just avoid trouble, because if you go beyond that, if you go down under a problem, government gets responsibility. That is why we look at the recommendation to Ministry of Finance. We don't see in that report that the Ministry of Finance for make sure they provide adequate budget allocation to correctional service for able to do their work. But again, we also say, may make sure they're able to pay the service providers on time. So this issue of rationing and inadequacy of the food, it's also about what do I receive as a vendor, as a service provider, in providing the food. So if one day they pay me on time, it will have to take, for instance, 6 months or 1 year. I continue to expend my money as the businessman. Yeah, as a businessman, I have to wait for 2-3 years before I could be paid. I just continue for, cut here, put here, for let things go work. Then I become tired.
Yeah.
The quality go reduce, the frequency go reduce. So government, Ministry of Finance, get for make sure say the vendors that will provide them services they are. They're able to pay them on time and make sure they pay them which really will make them able to provide the better services. So that at the end of the day, people who are behind bars know say they are part of the society. Government cares for them.
There's a human rights part of this. He mentioned, people within that place where they wait for indictment. The AG was talking at Geneva this morning about addressing poverty to petty offenses. We all the CPN or something where it don't popularize, the judiciary don't popularize them. How do we prevent, then situations they are? Respecting people and rights in certain ways and prevent them from be overcrowded at the correctional facility. We go be burden on the states and be burden on the people and back where they provide the service. How do we, from the police, you don't hear it from the monitoring way Chadi do. Clearly they show you say we get a problem from the first side. How do we address that before going to the correctional service?
It is first of all to improve on communication. There is a serious communication gap. For us, we say we have observed for a very long time as a Human Rights Commission that the criminal justice system is disjointed. They are not working. They hardly work as a team. Everybody work in silo. As individual institutions. But it should actually be a team. So you get the law officer department. Okay, first of all, just quickly. How does it start? The criminal justice system. First you contact the police. A wrong or a crime is committed and then the police calls you in. Okay, you are interviewed and maybe they keep you. And they do investigations. 3 days for misdemeanor minor offenses, 10 days for major offenses. Sometimes they pass 3 days, sometimes they pass 10 days, So that is where you begin to see your own hell. Because first of all, the constitution has been breached. Instead of they keep you for 3 days, if they don't get enough evidence, they discharge you, or they keep put you on bail while they continue with the investigations, they would have to keep you more than 3 days or more than 10 days, as the constitution say. Against what the constitution say. Then you are finally, the investigations are completed, and then you are supposed to be charged to court. So that means that advice before you can be charged, because the law officer department under the office of DPP will have to determine, although in not every case, but in major case, in most cases, the law officer department through the DPP will have to determine whether there is sufficient evidence for charge this man going to court. So then that is where the second problem comes. When does that advice come in? Because the police they send the file, waiting up for the advice. So you will see Mr. Fatoma say they don't charge you going to court. Literally, kind of like they don't charge you, but you are still within the police precinct. You are still under custody within the police precinct. Because they have, the police will have sent the file for review and then subsequent advice. But the file and the advice, is not forthcoming. But then when you check up with the DPP, then they tell you, no, then I provide with the CC number. We don't get this file here. This file not reach you it. Not reach you it. They tell you, no, this file not reach you it. So this is a misrepresentation.
But how do we not digitize systems like this and say, you able to sit on a CID or wherever and punch and send
that
to
is
the DPP?
disjointed nature. Let me complete it. Then it goes now. Now you have been charged. Okay, finally, let's say you have been charged. Okay, let's start whether you have been charged. Let's say now, it starts with the magistrate court. Okay, a summary offense or indictable offense. You can the magistrate can start with PI and then send and go up, commit and go to high court. Now, we indictable offense, the magistrates don't do implement investigation. Now the CPAC in front of 28 days, so at least they don't reduce now because before now it take forever. Criminal investigation go on forever. So you have been the magistrates don't do the investigations and say, I think say this man. There are sufficient evidence for making go stand in trial in the high court. If you don't get sufficient evidence, if you discharge the matter. But now you say, law will make sure say we send and go in high court, make it go defend himself. So why is that to happen? This man, this accused person, is returned to the correctional service, to prison. Okay, so that is where the indictment comes in. That they have to, the law officer department again comes in to provide to prefer the indictment. Okay. But because the volume of cases, the files, so high, you might be forgotten. So you'll be there, languishing, waiting for your indictment. And the question and service, I don't know if they have to follow, if they follow up, but they are still keeping you, not, going to the DPP's office to say, hey, but where this person here, for me, it's still not getting indictmented. So perhaps we, like Human Rights Commission, the charges of this world and other institutions, them, we will find you out and say, no, who get this to me? This is alarming. Why then people are not get indictmented up to now? We met a guy who took 12 years waiting for indictment. He was the criminal investigations, the complete time. He was taken from one court to the other, one prison to the other. 12 years. He went there as a young man. He left there as an adult.
Antonia did a story, I'm not cutting you. We've been the AYV, and there was this guy, this young guy, it's the same situation, taken to Pademba Road. They wait for indictment or so. A commodity paralyzed one. Young man went there well, I think he don't sit in WAS, they prepare for good university, get good grade. The guy was crying, there's no compensation. I think a Human Rights Commission with legal aid board. And then go for Pulandi. But this guy came out, they work out fine again, they talk fine, they don't lost in speech. And this is a young man where if all feature the system fail him, and all feature and nobody, there's no compensation process. Say let's help this man with even medication. I insist that we've been there with now they struggle for take care of. I can recall Antonia did that story. How do we allow things like this to happen?
So I see what I tell you about the low-hanging fruit. Do you need the World Bank to support you to say I have this number of inmates? They're not going to indictment it. Go to engage the DPP for let them make sure they provide indictment for them. No, you don't need World Bank at all. So it's about attitude and the fact that we don't take these things seriously. Man, look, freedom is freedom and dignity. They are the forerunners of human rights. You can sit here now as you sit like this, after this program. You go dinner, say net cam. But if that is one, they can't instruct you now, say no come on here. Say na ya you the left na ya. As fast it's now an instruction to say you left na ya. The way how they feel, you understand, like they don't restrict you, they don't limit your ability for make you walk around, for go about your business. It's a nightmare.
Yeah.
Yet alone, they go restrict you na a place who say for let even see you face or you the next man. It's a difficulty. Half dark. Really, it's difficult.
And when I capture that in the report, I they watch the report, man. I see a gun, then guide in the lidom. And the window, the place so dark. Is it why? I still don't understand.
Let me give you a story. It's a story, but the fact, the experience. This was in 2020 or 2022. we were doing a monitoring. We went to this police at Central Police. I forced my way in. If I didn't have that kind of is it immune system or my system strong, because my own staff they say going before enter. The odor within the entrance alone. You know, if fit for you die one time, you drop and die one time. But meanwhile, there were many suspects then within that prison, within that cell day. So when I came out, I said, "Is this existing? Is this for human beings?" So I had to raise a campaign. I mean, a few years down the line, they broke them, they expand them, and then now we go with CC. I mean, it don't improve.
Yeah.
But you go camp not among them, like sardines inside a camp place. Meanwhile, these are suspects where the constitution tell you say they are innocent until proven guilty. Even as Panama with people where they on trial, they are there for how many years, but they are innocent until they say they are guilty, until the court say they are guilty.
Yeah.
But even where you are guilty, I mean, even take a further.
You should get a dignity.
You are still a human being.
Yeah.
Your conviction does not take away the fact that you are a human being.
Yeah.
It doesn't take away your right.
Yeah. Fatoma, as we try for conclude this conversation, waiting at the recommendation then. Because like I say, you don't do this. Waiting at the acceptance first from the police on this and moving forward with what needs to be done.
Not the very first time the police come to reality and accept. Before now, the moment we Kinepo we report that they see counter press release. But you see when we report out, the police don't put out any counter press release. Because the management we get a sit down conversation with them. And then they take solutions to them for work together. But some of the other solutions for address them, it require money. Even not to do not they give the money, but the government of Australia need for poor money. Like imagine CID out of 156 people, now 144 over detained.
Now CID.
So when you go to most police station, the envy station within the envy na CID. So if CID lower the bar, imagine the disaster. They say even if CID they do that, they wouldn't have we know they do it. So but when you go to CID, they know they take that like man the way they come out CID then transfer them to the other smaller stations then get respect for them. They say they don't work in a headquarter.
Yeah.
Now the higher level. Then just imagine the time of with 3 visits where we do. We record the based on because we interface with them, we look through the record. And the sad thing where they happen across the police and the correctional service, now that bad language we then get safekeeping. Like brother, some people then they from Kisi then start then journey in a cell. Then encounter na Roscoe then encounter na Eastern Police maybe to Center or Adelaide or Aberdeen. Then come back Congo Cross maybe then take them down na Panema Road. Now they now for safekeeping. The last time we go about 75 or over 70 something. Now be fine correctional service. They wait for safekeeping. They say na from Toko. Then they constantly they wait. Then say safekeeping. So when we can go, the list go say for one station, for example, then get 20 people. But when we go inside and do head count, now 3 or 4 extra people they see. So they get 24. So recently a station at Calbaton go attack, verbally attack with team member. Say, I don't put fake report. So again for take a time I call her, I say, look, we don't get this problem na Central, we don't get an CID, we they go count inside a different than the number. And where this man becomes also 3 extra ABC, he say yes. So then we can see 20, then we see the other number. We put down a not 43. When we combine the two reports together, it's one day we don't get that kind of number, then we don't get the kind size. But we say, look, they put the number of days and the date them. So you get for use you hate. Then at the time that they realize, say, na combination plus that extra person. But then first attack this guy. And then the other one, they attack the 2 ladies na Congo Cross. Even where the crime officer go with the lady then at the lockup for let them go see the email there, because we know they only believe on waiting there on paper. Like way Victor they say, we will enter, like me, at the enter now all the cells. Because I know one for sit down at public or sit down with IG.
Yeah.
I know they tell
you don't get a feel.
I don't get any experience. Even when we go to the male correctional service, we make sure say every side we for enter, we them permit we. I enter there. Like when I reach to the woman inside, now I'm gonna be sit down and they talk to them. You know, for them, because if you wear jacket or you get tie, you sit down. I sit down and go on, me and then they talk. Then they explain their individual stories. And some then they will come out, we're able for remove them because the money then be small. One will be 5,000. Then the other one will be 2,000. So we understand say since we remove them one and then nobody know then at the female side we not for money for pay before you come on.
So moving forward, what we need, Abdul, is investment in them facilities.
Investment,
there, right?
and we put a good structure in place for fight corruption. You see, Superintendent, they talk about rationing. Government, they approve them budget for lunch and dinner. If you do double blow with a very lazy, justifiable excuse, I mean, now a element of corruption. What do they eat where you really get a full menu? What do they eat for dinner? Not what they eat for lunch.
For lunch.
It's quite different. What do they eat for breakfast? Like I say, any service they monitor, if I go, then say motorman they enter, I they enter there. If I not come again, that's not a problem for me. I go to the bakery, where we go to the correctional service. I go to the bakery and talk to the bakers. And with that experience what I see, I able to interact with the inmate them. Then they eat dry bread. No butter, not the day, no mayonnaise, not the day. Some. Before you drink them tea, son, and they not drink nothing. It's not good. It not get any dignity. So then the problem to all these things, corruption, serve as an umbrella. Imagine you award contract for supply prison or police to party faithful there and party executive. If government not agree pay them, then they bring substandard product them or hazardous product them for their inmate then and even for the people the way they work at the correctional service. Look their uniforms there. Go there and see their uniforms. Go there and see some man's suits. I mean, for God's sake, them men and women they are, then choose this.
Yeah.
Like what we choose, what would they do so? Some then choose out of passion. Some because of no option, not in the only gateway down there for let it get dignity. By when one don't, if not small self then pay, at least it go promise person say, well then pay me. I go pull by my salary give. So, but in returns, we politicize everything and we weaponize everything as a political, tools. So the solution, it comes back to our attitude. The solution coming, how do we have state institution for do the exact thing?
Okay.
The Human Rights Commission, they do the monitoring, but for let government recognize and respect na problem. So we begin for come out and urge government say the government need for implement the recommendations the way the Human Rights Commission come out with. Because when we go, the same recommendations the way they recommend.
Every year.
Now the same thing we say for been do. So instead of we come with we own, we just match with the young back.
Yeah.
Why not we not come with real recommendation and say government need for, so meaning we they see one side, we they recommend the same thing. When international law with Sierra Leone is, get a statutory obligatory to, we get the right of the accused persons. So, and even when they don't accuse you, in some detention facility, my brother, you get access to daily newspaper there. When we go correctional service, now Indian film, now they play for them boys. They I mean, like this country, I don't monitor a case, my police. Suspect then go with this man in fridge and freezers. Now any police officer they use for cool water. The chair that they use for sit-down park.
The exhibit.
The exhibit. They don't distract. I mean, this place. Sometimes the chief, they come out on side and where people in the count case to me. Like for example, one man they don't work for one construction company. It don't go labor transfer in case now the industrial court. The matter don't they go up according to your allegation because the company gets so much power they know for paying this infrared now we don't die. But that man they see with no disrespect a poverty very close to her as a best friend. People then they where they go to we I never they take money, give them transport. So then they say, Mr. Fatuma, I know even well. I never take money for give them for let them go buy medicine.
It's tough.
Not in one cases. And like the thing is that even the one that we able with the approach we, if any of we member receive cold water from you, if they go, they will discontinue your case. If you buy cold water for any of we member, would they discontinue your case? Then that member at the back know they work with we. So that culture we get her.
Yeah.
We they try for provide free service. We don't need for let you worry say when we recover this we get commission.
Yeah.
No commission.
Exactly.
So the money through they do that's 100% self-funded. If I not get extra money in my pocket, we can't do monitoring.
And it's helpful. We appreciate that so much. It's been helping in shaping the conversation and discussion and understanding. Because sometimes we can forget, like what Victor say, we're all vulnerable. Can be taken today somewhere. And if the place not get dignity and dignified, now they no more get for they don't go pull me there. Superintendent, finally and quickly, the report also look at, the detention facilities there. There's a picture at the report where they show na matter or so people employed and all that thing and the light and all. Is it that capacity?
Plastic. You know how plastic hot? And it get plastic, then they spray down and gone. Because cartoon, when they sweat, it is soak there, it pour. So someday if you then get access to tarpaulin or plastic, but then they get them.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Is it a bedding's not there? Una know they get supplies?
Well, we like I tell you earlier on, so we make do with what you get. The one they will get and the number we overwhelm as earlier on tell you. Every day with the more people than they coming. Maybe you go don't make a budget for maybe you go put a buffer of 10 or whatever. But maybe by the week they end, you don't see more people and don't come in. So we just get for manage with the mattresses they all get for make we take in the people there. We no get not for say, oh no, not go able for house this person may go. We do things for keep them safe. So we can come in and then at the center manage with the mattress we get we go just 1-2 people that near their own and maybe 3 or 4 person go able to sleep. They go be a little bit spacious so they all go there and sleep. But we self get challenges them just like how we counterparts and they explain to you. Then self don't go and see say we get challenges and we constrain, but we dey make do with what we get for make we keep the people in safe. Now we centers them. Then Mr. Fatoma make mention of the uniform them. we just want to say thank you to them back because the recommendation them. Now make I can say we know they see the report here like a witch hunt. We see say they create a room for improvement. Because with the recommendation then be captured something like that. They say we even not even get uniform or whatever.
So that don't
as recent years as February, they don't supply we don't get new boots, we don't get new shoes, new uniform, everything new. So we just want for say we really they appreciate them because they come in for create the room no say oh we need for improve here. We glad for the report here because they make we team up tight for no so we need for improve. Because just like I tell you in human rights audit the person not go 100% meet all thing. But partly go meet until certain thing they go meet or certain thing they not go even meet. But then they go create now the it go be eye opener for make we say oh we not meet this and we need for work on this. And we self they do we own bits.
And I think one of the good side in the report now the rights to education, how much on they try, for help them. You get the lecture, the Unimark model as if Abe College F1 starts than they try that part. But there are recommendations as well and commitment them we as a correctional service waiting on us you commitment them issues like internal discipline and addressing some of the challenges them way now from your internal sector and waiting at the commitments in addressing them.
Well we just get a management meeting because there's a mention of Dandy that we as officers we not get no medical facility where like if officers sick where you go pass you take your own personal money go any government hospital when are they you money go reach but we don't come in now for make we get we own hospital they don't put on our this way budget so by next year I sure the project go kickstart where we say go get hospital now where if we sick or any person in our family sick now we go able to rush into the hospital we go able to get the medical attention we desire. Now all man where you go take by your salary you go take medical outside but like for so get a facility where now they if you sick as an officer you go no we not be get them but thank God with all the recommendation I tell you say fine because they help we now for no say oh this we not meet we need for work for make we able for solve certain problem within we own center and as officers and for make we enjoy certain privileges them so we they work on them and I know say soon it go kickstart even the barracks them with even at the different region them with director general because himself now somebody we pushful we waiting the money we always now in priority for make we try for make it come into existence so he said don't push if you go around now you go see at the different region them the projects and don't kickstart or make you get enough barracks the whole competence because at first officers then be the strain because the barracks will not be available pass then go rent outside and it can cause another burden on them but if you get then at the barracks now then they go a little bit help for make you not spend again that small money where you get for go parent then they push but by next year no say then go don't complete whole self go the bluff now say we don't get new quarters them and we convenient and happy for go do work.
And hopefully and go put out logistics as well so people don't need a vehicle they don't need for the wait for bike they can't rank way get so at least one official vehicle where where you go they move around with for doing work. But Victor, look at this picture, right? We show one of the cells. Simon, you can just show look, this now from the reports, right? They say worn out mattresses in a male cell at the Paremba Road. Yes, this not gets any dignity. This and una do a lot of recommendations to the correctional service, to the Ministry of Internal Affairs, to Ministry of Finance, Judiciary, Ministry of Justice, Sierra Leone Legal Aid Board. Fatoma when they talk about implementation of the recommendations there. Because if year in, year out, they do recommendation, or they do the State of Human Rights report as well, when I can present to the President. Some of them things they can dey inside it. How they monitor and track the implementation for improve on them things here one they highlight so
you see this is a thematic report. It's very specific to correctional centers and if government really want for improve the situation you just need to take this report and go through them and implement the recommendation there as they are, because this now a data-based report, an evidence-driven report. We did not just talk to the inmates them. We spoke to the personnel. We looked at the physical environment. We visited 21 out of the 22 correctional centers we get in the country.
Mm-hmm.
So it is really very comprehensive, and it will help for actually improve the situation as it is. But answering your question directly, how do we ensure that these recommendations over time, year in, year out, are implemented? So you see, we do a lot of engagement. First of all, we need to make sure, what we do, bring account to public attention, and also engage the relevant authorities. So this report, we don't submit them, we don't present them to stakeholders them. Whether not the police, the AG, we don't present them to the AG, correctional service. So all of the relevant stakeholders them, we make sure they all get a copy. We do a presentation for make sure we bring their attention to the recommendation and we specific to them, so that they go able for know what to do. And at the end of the day, really, the overall goal is to make sure that we improve the system. We improve what we get already. And this issue of unless I get everything before I go for work, the work, because we can't get, like I tell you, as a country, financially we are struggling. We need to raise the required resources for invest in we own social services. And again, we say to government that government gets an international obligation for respect human rights, for fulfill human rights, for make sure people are able to enjoy human rights in this country. We don't do so much in the civil and political rights, but that's second generation of rights. We really talk about human dignity, education, healthcare, water facility. All of these are still, lacking. After many years of independence, we are still struggling. We commend government. We commend government for the fact the legislative and normative framework, they're not able for, really they don't work so much in that regard. Making sure that there are laws, there are policies, for make we able for be guided by. But then also the correctional service. We talk to them. We don't recommend to them say the 1960 prisons rules. It's obsolete.
Yeah.
We are talking about 2014 kind of prison correctional service act. Okay, but then we have a regulation that dates as far back as 1960. So they have to go back to the drawing board and make sure they review that regulation. Let the regulation actually meet the 2014 Act and the different laws, international regulation that we get, covenants, whether not Mandela rules and all of those Belgian rules, where they use for guidance, because there are some provisions in the own Act we not actually capture, what to get in those international regulations, the international covenants and conventions them. So they have to make sure that the legal framework also therefore really be sound for the able for be guided in how they execute their work. But again, we call on government for understand. Whilst we want so much from them, we want for let them improve on the services, because the services they render. But again, they have to look at the welfare of these people. Like you talk about official vehicle. I wonder if after this first and second person, if the rest get any official vehicle. So not just So we have to take it very seriously. This the dignity and freedom of people, of individuals. Nine are a priority of human rights. Okay, that is why the biggest international human rights law or document, one of the universal, the UDHR, the first article is we get is say every man is born equal in rights and in dignity. So dignity is the forerunner. After life, if you don't get dignity, people I know you want. Well, it's difficult for it. So just on to conclude on this, citizens also get to understand. Again, they get responsibility. I again emphasize them. We have a responsibility as citizens. We cannot develop as a nation if we just think and just government gets the obligation for develop this country. No, there is no wherever we want to go. As citizens, some people can say, "Oh, we want to be like Sri Lanka, we want to be like America, we want to be like UK, we want to be like Ghana." But these countries, they don't just develop, merely by the effort of the government. Government takes the lead.
Yeah.
So that is why we call on government for always lead by example. Okay? But citizens also for augment the government, for make sure say what the constitution say, then do them.
Yeah.
So
rights them come with responsibilities.
Exactly, rights come with responsibilities. So over the years, what will happen? Unfortunately, the government and citizens, they don't connive for bringing this country to where it is, to backwardness, to stagnation. So both parties, they fight so hard for we know as a state. The state and they suffer at the end of the day, because government comes and goes.
Victor, I got two questions at the end with two. One a comment and the other one a question. Say there is an ECOWAS court judgment that ordered a repeal of amendments of the loitering laws, which is a major source of abuse by police to arrest people for petty offences. Implementation of that judgment, which I understand the AG's office is working on to a petty offences bill, will be a major step to setting the legal framework to stop arbitrary arrest for petty offences. That's the point. How do we stop, the overcrowding at the correctional service from the police, from the judiciary, from the courts? I know that the second one where they say the AG was talking about this morning about freedom of speech and all of that. Somebody they asked, the Human Rights Commission was in court for Zainab. What's their take on the process, and do they have a report on it?
So yes, there's a report on that. But just on the first one, we don't several times bring out we findings them on several issues them. But over and above everything, we always make sure government understand that the work that to do is not to criticize government, but for government to understand they have an obligation. They have an international and national human rights obligation for make sure that we are able to, as a country, to meet the human rights needs them. We monitor Zainab's situation. We get Section 16 of the Act. We see exclusion. There is an exclusionary clause that when the courts they deal with a matter, we cannot investigate that matter. We cannot really act on that matter, except that we look at the human rights issues around that. Maybe, for instance, if the rights to bail, if the person is sick, he need for go get medical. Like what we do for Kamarimba, we had to write a letter to the then Chief Justice. We engaged him to say, we don't grant this bail, but this bail has to be, varied, because the man could not actually at the time, meet the bail conditions then. So we had to appeal with them on health grounds, because right to health is also a fundamental human right.
Okay.
So we had to appeal with the Chief Justice, and that was why they had to go back and vary the bail conditions. Okay. So this is what we do on a daily basis. It's not just Zainab. Several other people. We did the members. We really not even get the kind of traction or publicity. On thousands of them, they are there. They don't have access to media, but they are suffering. They are languishing.
Yeah, plenty.
So that is what we do on a daily basis. Engage them, government, engage the judiciary. For say these are, your people. Sometimes, like Mr. Fatoma said, 300 leons, somebody will still keep at detention.
And you spend
how much here for freedom, for freedom. So see the irony.
Yeah.
the one case where IGB really vexed for these three bobo them, they hold them at the late street for mango.
Yeah.
For mango. And we they give IG update now in office about we experience with police officers. In fact, he just called to office and say, hey, wait first.
That call.
He called the LUC. Una the crime officer and said that this person. Una keep person for mango. They say, but una self. Like sometimes it get upset.
Yeah.
Some things and the way they happen, you bring account to even the AIG there.
Yeah.
Like, the management level, they have been so much supportive to the work we do.
Okay.
If we call the Western region, AIG, for any stumbling block or issue with the LUC, the LUCs, some of them and the crime officers, the moment they see they want for put up,
But what should be accountability? You're dealing with people.
The moment they say, wait till they come for again. We don't do this, blah, blah, blah. But when we report that issue then to IG or the AIG, then take phone, engage them people, then we get access. Had it not been, the cooperation, they would have been fold up, because the normal police officer and a few don't come later, they appreciate, like now, part of the recommendation, when I try to do for we back another training, will come in and me say, then training the way we've been do. So currently, we engage, some philanthropists then at this country.
For help.
For buy phone, for all the, lock up. So in the case that police officer not using phone for help inmate for call a family member, or if you lawyer want for talk to suspect, they use that phone, or we make sure say legal aid board provide them toll line number, human rights commission number there. So we own number there, they charge the number there. So in case they feel anything,
there's a monitoring.
Yes, so they're going for call out. So we don't talk to IG, he say in welcome, that kind of thing. So these are the solutions that will
hopefully it go get better. The work will get now for shed light on them thing there. As much as we did globally they present with human rights record, I think there is need. Maybe it's something the Human Rights Commission can champion. There's the annual human rights report when they present to president. How do we present that as well to the public, to the institutions that we're responsible? Then we review. We get a frank conversation around them. Moving forward, how do we address them? Maybe that could be something.
A similar discussion I get then this year with Awasamai, the Executive Secretary of Peace Commission. I said to her, I said, why can't we work as, two institutions for we kind of reproduce the TRC recommendations.
Yeah.
Get a public square or even to schools so that we Gen Z's them
go understand
exactly what will happen.
Yeah.
Some within those 11 years.
Yeah.
Because people don't understand what it means.
Yeah.
Some man is logo na kids logo fet come. You don't understand me.
Yeah.
Because if you are here in 11 years.
No, you know the ones, but
so that document for me, it is the best document where the state Salon ever produced.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, a lot of people have not read that document.
Yeah, no.
A lot of people.
There are many versions of it.
The two best documents, the TRC and with PRSP report.
Yes. And Osiwa had been spend para money and gets the school version, then gets the summarized version. Joseph Kaifala don't popularize them. But again,
it's still module. In fact, it should be
it
should be a subject.
If for being a
subject. I don't say the local civics of
course. But if for be
like say TRC recommendations as a subject.
So my brother been tell me a story. We get our niece, right? They don't go through university and now then call. So he been talk about Abacha Street. He been tell him a story about how the name Abacha come, follow the name of Abacha Street. So she was asking, Abacha have been president of Nigeria, and the guy was like, you don't go through college and you don't learn. You're not able to understand the whole way the Nigerians play, how they rename Abacha. So this is a practical example. If you put people when not been there through the war, you ask things them way they report, then they say. They don't know, but you don't blame them because it's not taught in the schools. We don't
lose. Even say cocoa
they are not at all.
Then they struggle for no one's that cocoa.
Anyways, it has been a very good conversation. Hopefully, we could get the Attorney General Naya where he return for get an internal review of what he could present and get a conversation around them. But it has been a very good conversation. The reviews on the Facebook page, people and don't learn, people and don't understand. We shed light on them thing there for the changes that happen. Human Rights Commission is an independent government subvented agency. Chadi civil society, the correctional service providers, people and we don't dedicate their time and their life for help and provide service for people within the correctional service. They don't do their own part. So we get them conversation there for let we shed light on them here. So the authorities them go listen and address the problem. Then we'll take a quick break. Next, we can talk to the presidential spokesman, Alaji Alpha Kanu. Today, the president in birthday. Perhaps he gets to sing a birthday song for the president. Continue for stay with you.
Take a quick commercial break. Plans them, we're gonna fit you lifestyle. Try the Colloquium Mini for just 70 Leone and get 2.5 Mbps.
Why buy fuel anywhere else when Cornex gives you more? professionally trained attendants who know service matters. Conex Fuel. A litre is a litre every single time. And when it's time to pay, easy. Pay with mobile money, Visa or MasterCard, or the Conex Fuel card. Clean restrooms, welcoming spaces. Every station, every time. Clean fuel, clean spaces, clear value. That's why Sierra Leone fuels with Conex. Conex retail outlets. Always clean, always professional, always for you. Fuel smart. Get your Conex Fuel card today. I run a small logistics company. Every cent counts. I didn't think I needed a fuel card until I got the Conex Fuel card. Now, I track exactly how much fuel my fleet uses, in real time. And when my wife or kids need fuel, no cash, no stress. It's safe, accepted nationwide, and I control how much goes on each card. At the end of the month, I see the savings, real savings. Conex Fuel card. I didn't know I needed it. Now, I can't run my business or family without it. Fuel smart. Live smart. Visit any Conex filling station to sign off, or any Conex office to get your card.
In the heart of Sierra Leone's dynamic rhythm, Rocal Commercial Bank is your beat to a brighter financial future. We're not just a bank, but we're your financial partner committed to your success. We've got the financial tools you need to rise higher. Our team is here to serve you with speed and a smile because your time matters to us. So, are you ready to unlock financial prosperity? Highlighting key banking services such as Keke loans, Combra account, fixed deposits, SME loans, internet and corporate banking, from savings that grow your dreams to loans that fuel your ambitions. Demonstrating fast and friendly customer service. Showcasing cutting-edge banking technology and ATMs. Access your money anytime, anywhere with our state-of-the-art technology and a network of ATMs. Our Rocal SimCopper app puts banking in your hands, where you can pay for EDSA, Afri Money, Orange Money, and pay bills including school fees and make transfers to other bank accounts. Remember, you can also experience Rocal e-banking today. Then join us now. Visit any of our branches or explore our website. Rocal Commercial Bank, your bank of choice.
Yo people, this famous, listen, May 24 Black Tie Affair, right now Metro Point Hotel.
For impress nobody. Now me real life and they live and know they fit come. And they cut me good to me size.
NABS Promotion presents Black Tie Affair May 24th, Metro Point DMV.
I'm gonna be performing live, so go get your ticket now. See you there.
Don't miss out.
Yes, so.
Welcome back. This is the Truth Morning Devotion. Many regards to my man Naps Conte na the DMV, and don't forget to join that event day. Welcome back. Like I say, the Black Tie Affair they happen on the 24th of May, and famous na the special guest. But welcome. I get Alaji Alpha Kanu, the presidential spokesman, And me even just a talk. I say we need to do a documentary about him political journey because I don't know any other Sierra Leonean we don't serve as spokesperson for two presidents in 10 years or so. Served for former President Kumar. People we do the transition from one president to another. Finally we do a documentary and keep them. Tuma Bambai go the show. We will put on a put local. Na the clock tower and plan for
Rogbere Junction.
Good morning, welcome to the Presidency birthday.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is a fine.
You don't wish him happy birthday?
I'll do when I see him at the Colloquium, but I'm going to send him a message.
Okay.
But however, I'm on air now. Your Excellency, President Dr. Julius Maada, I wish you and my family, we wish you a very happy birthday, very fruitful birthday, and a very eventful birthday, because we have this colloquium that we are going to be listening to you to give us some updates on how you have been able to manage this country at this period in time when we have stayed so peaceful and actually development is moving forward.
I know former President Kumar, you had a very close relationship with him.
Yes, I did.
You went to parliament together, right?
Yes.
And it can be president, you serve as minister in different ministries, come back as advisor and you being spokesman. And on the party you serve as a publicity secretary and spokesman for the party as well.
Yes, yes.
You know, later you continue with you join the SLPP. You serve before joining the SLPP. Even President Bio appoint you during the Ebola. It was during COVID, right? Later you come into mainstream. You serve as minister. Yes, then you
minister and spokesman.
Spokesman.
Even when I was APC.
Exactly. Then later you joined the party.
Yes.
And
out of an abundance of caution, because the APC did not reach out. I waited for them and they didn't come.
Somebody been remind me with that video there. You remember I've been there where we are play interview in a hot seat and we are talking about a man with the cut two man bar.
Yes,
you explain how we have
just a Timmy song, yes.
Yes, you sing that in the song.
Yes, that's it. I waited, and my shooter didn't come.
Yeah.
So another one came along. I said,
so I go compare this new shooter and that old one. How has it been?
Well, this one, it's new, and they enjoy the relationship. I'm enjoying it. I think it will be a lasting relationship. It's a good one.
Working close to the presidency, I'm not asking you to compare, but I would say in terms of development and in terms of doing things for this country, you've been talking about President Bill. You say you're such a young man at 62, and you don't imagine how you've been there at 62.
I can't remember.
Yes, you can't remember.
It's a long time ago.
You know, but what will you say about the different president the way you don't serve?
Well, you want me to be the advocate of the devil's advocate? I cannot. I'm serving President Bio at the moment. But historically, I had a good relationship with President Ernest Bai Koroma. Long before that, we were friends, we were family, from school days and things, and we lived together in the same house and all that before we went into politics. One of the reasons I went into politics was because that he had expressed an interest in becoming president of Sierra Leone through the APC. So I decided that if you go, I'll join you. I'll go and join you. So that's it. But it was a good period, except for when the transition came. that was the rupture.
So what caused that rupture there?
The rupture is that, you see, everybody wants to feel appreciated. It doesn't matter if you don't get the reward, but appreciation is very important. When we did not get a lot of us did not get to be nominated for this flag bearer, or as I call it, nominated for the position of a flag carrier for the APC. We expected that at least some kind of outreach, which you call a hand would have been stretched to console and show some kind of remorse or something. That look, I don't have opportunity to appoint all of you. I will appoint this one. But let's work together. For me, my sake, that
You felt you were not treated right by the.
At the end of the day, yes, I wasn't.
It been promised you,
He promised everybody,
including you.
yes.
So you been get that hope that you.
Of course. Otherwise, why would I spend my money fighting like that? I believed that. And as the apprentice at the time, I thought I was the one that was closest to the steering wheel, at that time. And I thought I would get it. But when I didn't get it, I licked my wounds and served the party. But going on, after we lost government, the party sort of ignored my counsel, especially when in November of 2018, His Excellency President Bio had asked for the APC to join him at Bintumani 3. And I went to the party office to ask them to go, to explain to them the benefits of doing that for Sierra Leone, for the peace and tranquility of the country. They rejected that, and at the same time, from that time, they started pushing me up. And I told them, I said, if you don't go, I will go. And I did go. And I went there for Sierra Leone. And I believe that had they gone there, all of those problems that we are undergoing now wouldn't have happened, really, because we could have solved this tripartite long before, before it even arose. Yes, that was the necessity.
Let me talk about President Bio now. He is returned from, he was in Kenya.
He is returned.
He is returned from Kenya, and just this morning I read the papers, and the New Age newspaper, they report on the front page, say government spends over 130 billion on overseas travel. And there's been this conversation continuously about President Bio in trip overseas and the benefits to the nation. The president self openly don't talk about, he needs to go out there, meet with people, in Colloquium words, if you no go manjalaji, things no go come. Sierra Leoneans, what's in you go and say to Sierra Leoneans? Like I meant, like we started, I say you don't serve two presidents them. What do you go and say to Sierra Leoneans as a presidential spokesman on the president in trip and the benefits to this nation?
Well, I always like this Creole proverb. They say, you work out for nothing, better pass sit down for nothing. If not experience, if you get them. But President Bio, the figure of this man they quote 130 billion. I mean, it has to be verified. But if it is, let's say we spread that over the last 10 years. The 10 years where it's going to be in 130, that's 13 billion a year. That's not a lot of money for a president's travels. Other presidents travel in private jets they own, that the country buys it, the country maintains it, and all that. He only travels when necessary. But it traveled because it bring come back. Okay, look at when he went to Vienna with the OPEC fund and the ISDB. He came back with a pledge of $880 million for us to be invested in agriculture and energy, of which $205 million has already been committed. I know $105 million already came for animal husbandry and poultry. And I just take that simple one, $880 million pledge, of which $205 million have been committed, 105 has been, when you multiply that by the current rate of the dollar, 105, that is over 250, that's 250 billion. That's just one trip, all right? The 130 billion, you already offset what he says that he has spent over the years for that kind of thing. So there's always a benefit coming from that. He went to the GWS, the World Government's Summit in Dubai. There he met the Gavi Fund. The Gavi Fund committed $10 million because he showed political will. And that $10 million is for, for immunization and all that, and vaccines. No. So you see, anytime President Bill goes out, he comes out with a lot of benefits. He went to Kenya for the first time for the M300 summit, where $2.2 billion have been pledged as part of the M300's $300 billion investment into Africa to raise 300 million people out of darkness, give energy, electricity to Africans. 2.2 billion has been accepted as the compact of Sierra Leone for us to go. That is already. So even if they just give you the 0.2 billion, that is $200 million. It's already big benefit. And we see how a lot of things are happening with us here in the country today. We have the investment from the Islamic Development Bank, $150 million to do the road from Cambia to Kamakwe, which is at the point of being allocated to a contractor. All of these happen when you go out. We have seen how we have built over 17 main bridges. Most of them had been ferries. Recently, we opened one in Pujang. Before that, the one in Matru. And before that, after that, the one in Gendema. And we're getting ready to do the Tompari Bridge commissioning. There's the Manoa Bridge. All of these used to be ferries. All of this is money that we did not earn. We did not earn in country. It's his traveling outside. Look at the IMF. The IMF is just sort of validated us that we have passed 2 out of the 3 QPCs. That is the what do you call them? The periodic reviews or something. QPRs. QPRs. 2 hours of that. So for that, our program has been re-established. So it's working. That he's a salesman for the country. He goes out and he brings something.
You consider the concerns from people as legitimate too, especially people.
This is when it is because
people where they think say yes, these things are happening, but still we still complain about social issues, electricity, the challenges, the economy, inflation issues, cost of living, and all of that.
Let me just answer you on inflation issues.
We'll talk about inflation. I'm just putting all together.
Okay, you just mentioned it.
Yes, and they put all together. I'm just saying, you would be a spokesperson for the person.
Of course, I'm concerned. We have to listen to the Sierra Leonean people.
Exactly.
But what they need is good information. That is why we need to partner with Slash. We need to partner with all the journalists to tell the right story. Don't create sensational reporting. Do not create politicized reporting. That 130 billion, when you put it out there, people will say, it's a lot of money.
No, you need to read the story. That's the responsibility of the journalist. If it's actually what was spent on traveling, the journalist is right to. It's not sensational. And by the way, sensational reporting is not bad in journalism. It's not
it's part of your
exactly.
It's part of your bread and butter.
It's what you do. Even USA, you study in the UK, they do it.
If you give the right information, the people will understand. But the people do have a reason. They have a reason to be concerned when they don't get the right kind of information. So
but feeling again, it's not just about getting the information is one thing. But if the people who go to the market understand how cost of living is,
I'm sure now they understand that the cost of living is going down. The cost of living is going down, except for the war.
Yes, there's the war hunger is inflation. Inflation don't go double digits. We understand that. But the Sierra Leonean concern about himself. But again, if the Sierra
Leonean lives in the world.
Yes, but
Sierra Leone is in the world. So everything that happens
globally, when it hits the Sierra Leonean looks up to his own government.
Sierra Leonean will look to government, say, government, what do they do?
Exactly.
And then government says, look, when the petrol business been go up per week, because we're not able to get enough for we reduce the price, we're not able to get anything to affect the price out there. What do we do as a government? We put $2.2 billion a month on fuel subsidy for reduce the price. Because if they do the real pass-through, when I speak to Mr. Baluwa Koroma of the NPRA, tell you, say, when the war started, the jump on the price of petrol is 78%. And the jump on diesel is 140%. But we're not able to pass all that through. What you pass through, that's something like 45% down. Government absorbed the balance 33%. Then on diesel, then 140% recall. Government pass on the 70 or 80%. The rest government absorb them. So that they cost government $2.2 million every month. For let we keep the price as it is at 35 leons per petrol and 40 leons for. Otherwise, it's not going to be so. You see, even in America, we get pure fuel, we get money. Now they're grumbling. In California, petrol don't is $6 a gallon, and $6 are boku money in America. Even here, when you convert them. So you see, now when the people insist, the government, they try to do something, and we able to get the information to the waiting government they do, I think the people then go understand that it is not a make of government. The one way government able to affect, i.e. the production of our staple food, we don't put hand on agriculture. We don't put hand on food security. We don't put hand on feed salon. To the extent that rest in price don't come down. Rest in price don't come down from $1 million almost to 650,000. That is 35% drop within 1 year.
Yeah, analysis shows say the local rice more cheaper with the analysis
because of
statistics alone.
Because of what we are doing now. We are producing more local rice. I know people who will be work rest last year. Then the neighbor seller then get it and say because the price don't go down. The neighbor seller we safe now. We have to do farming. We get tens and tens of rice in our stores. All right, some of them will not mill itself because the price don't go down. We don't, when we sell them, we not go meet up what we spend.
Where the petete?
The petete, of course. That is everyday koje. They call it koje.
Na koje. Now you start the money.
Now you start the money. They always did it.
But I want to ask, in the midst of these global issues, this whole week, you know, I know you've been in other media outlets and they talk about this. This could possibly be the shortest interview I don't get with you because you get for good colloquium. They can't talk about us with the close. But there's this all reports about Sierra Leone being linked to drugs trade in this country. And anytime when you read the report, then for me as a Sierra Leonean, I don't feel good, especially when the name of my president is being linked to a wanted man who is in this country and all of that. What's in the president in feel about this? This is something I'm sure every other Sierra Leonean will not be happy about. What's in the president in position on this? He has never spoken about it openly, specifically. What's in thoughts or what's in position on this?
Because you see, in this country, we practice freedom of speech. President not interfere with people and they say, or what others do and say about him or something like that. The president not to fulfill, a president not to feel, a president they act. So when then reports are so come, they reach him, they don't send them to ONS. ONS then don't pull a statement till we say they're trying to get to the bottom of it. The one way you mentioned about the old report of this first one where they ask for an extradition of an individual where they say he didn't at this country. The Attorney General's office is constantly in touch with the Dutch government, and they try to work out within the bounds of international law how they go able for make them go satisfy the request of the Dutch government. The Dutch government understands that because there are laid down rules for extradition and all that, and human rights considerations and things like that. And this government really cares about all of those. When you put all those elements together, you can forgive the Attorney General time for make you do them properly, so nobody can shout. Say,
is the president concerned that repeatedly, you know, we're being mentioned on the reports there are kidnappings on side, we're being linked to it, but report them from credible institutions as well, where they say, you know, this West African region is being used as transshipment hub, including Sierra Leone. Is he concerned about?
Well, we are part of a region where they say the drug cartels out there in South America and all that don't target as transit points. This is what the ONS investigation is trying to get to the bottom of. There was a time when in the past, I've been Guinea-Bissau in the talk, say this is the issue. Nobody will be happy with that kind of information. So what government has to do is to get to the bottom of this and nip it in the bud.
Okay. Finally, let's ask you about the colloquium they happen today. President Bio, as part of celebrating his birthday, get this event today, right? Waiting this mean, and as part of in leadership to this country, and also as chairman for the ECOWAS leaders them.
Well, President Bio, I always talk saying a man who is religious. Because even the Quran says, they say, well, you know something, don't die with it. Pass it on. So President Bio institute this presidential colloquium for young people, for making you able to pass on his own experiences and his own strategies we don't develop over the years for make it be so. He's been a leader for a very long time. I mean, he led platoons in the army. He became a president at the age 32 or something like that. And he still is leader of a party and all that, and a leader of a government. So he gets this information, these strategies, this knowledge, we for pass on to young people. This is the second year where they do them. And not only him, they bring in very important people where they the world where they self can pass on this kind of information. Who believe say we young people then go take them that. But we know we have today we get the former Commonwealth Secretary General Baroness Scotland there. We go get a speech. We also know that the former president of Malawi is here. She will make a statement to ginger up young people. Guide them in their this. There is also a king from Warri, the Olu of Warri is here, and he will be making a statement also from a royal point of view. So for me, these are necessary. Not only when you're able to pass on information, then it becomes useful. You not for go away with it. You not for go end with it. So I really think say President Bio do the right thing for making set up this colloquium.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Alhaji Alpha Kanu. On behalf of the president, you get a message for Sierra Leoneans on this day, or a message to the president himself?
Well, on behalf of Sierra Leoneans, of which I am part.
You speak for the president, so I'm asking you in that capacity.
At the camp. On behalf of Sierra Leoneans, the ones that I know, and they feel the joy for you, for they don't reach this age of 62 years today, and for say they wish you the happiest of birthdays. Then on behalf of His Excellency the President, he want to make Sierra Leone and they know say, they work for them, they listen to them, they do the things that matter to them, they make sure that all of those issues that matter to them, including the education of their children, it's in their hand, and day in, day out, he thinks about it. Just on Friday, he makes sure, say, 72 billion new loans. Then go into the school system in terms of subsidies. They go into the school system in terms of exam fees for NPSE and BK. Total of 72 billion for 2,190,000 young people in this country. Where all of them, the government, they pay. Force them, that 2,190,000, each one of them, every single one, except for a few who get scholarship. Then they pay school fees, which means there's 72 billion in there. Now we hand it for come out, we fathers, mothers, grandfathers, and now we even for pull that money there for go pay this. But government is not doing that for us. So it's like taking 72 billion and put it into our pockets. So we do not say this government, Nakumra government, they look after we. Also, you want to make them know say the rain then don't start at the time this for going to farm. For some of us, we get access to farms, make we go able for help for plant the things the way we need. They will not depend on other people and for the send and for we.
Okay.
So that the rest price will continue for go down like I they go down. So not only when we put hands together. In fact, I think say we get for copy Namibia one day, because Namibia every year, the whole month of August, government shuts down. All man they gonna farm.
All man.
Everybody.
So that's
some
something.
presidents write down.
That's something we should think
start
about.
thinking about that. Shut down. Period. Cultivation time. All man gonna farm.
Okay.
Yes, they will stop grumbling.
Well, thank you so much, Alhaji Alpha Kanu. I know you're rushing for going at the colloquium. We see, we just monitor with pages. We see the first lady. I think there is some barn activity for celebrate the president in our house before he come out there. I see they're setting up. Yes, you can left with Simon. I can just show the first lady message on the screen. Okay, this they go on presently in a state house. Yes, now President Lodge. Sorry, now President Lodge, and they prepare for. They wish him happy birthday. Yes, this is the first lady message. Happy birthday, my husband. Alaji Alfakan, you see I'm clear, eh?
Very clear.
Okay.
But I'm sure I'll have it on my phone.
Yeah. You will get that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I could just read them quickly as Alaji Alfakan left. You can left with. That's okay. That's fine. It's a happy birthday, Julius, my husband, my protector, and my greatest source of strength. Watching the man you are, dignified, compassionate, wise, and devoted to your family and people, fills my heart with pride every single day. Your courage and leadership inspire so many, but to me, you are simply the man who holds my heart with love and care. May God continue to guide your steps, protect your legacy, and bless you with good health, peace, and long life. I love you deeply today and always. From FMB. That na the Facebook page of the First Lady Fatima Maada Bio, wishing His Excellency the President a happy birthday today. Now they end the program this morning. We end with the birthday song for the President. Just left down there on the screen, and Flex go play the song under. Just yes. But now the end. Many thanks to our guests and we don't join with this morning. Like I say, hopefully the Attorney General Minister of Justice Cantong, we go get on this program for discuss Salon in presentation at Geneva. Thanks to my guests, Abdul Fatoma, Victor Lansana, and the Superintendent from the Correctional Service, and also Alaji Alpha Kanu. We therefore bring you live the coverage of the colloquium na the Freetown International Conference Center, outside the President gave for talk on leadership and all of that. But we also, they continue for wish him happy birthday as they celebrate 63 years, and I think this is the 8th year we they celebrate with him as President since he win in 2018. Thanks to all viewers and listeners. Thanks to my colleagues, the technical and production team. The Truth Morning Devotion, they return tomorrow again. And 6:30 we can start early and end at 10. Till we meet back, have a lovely day. For God and country, serve your conscience, try for do waiting right, avoid waiting bad, be a law-abiding citizen, and always remember, say the true 90 always last. My name is Maada. I'm gonna back. Continue for stay with Truth Media.
When you watch me, miss I go watch you. How you find so? If you see me, miss I go see you. How you find so? When you give me, miss I go give you. How you find so? If you need me, miss I go need you. How you find so? When you kiss me, miss I go kiss you. How you find so? If you go up, miss I go up. How you find so? When you go down, miss I go down. How you find so? How you find so? How you find so? I said sweet go down. How you find so? Love it go down. How you find so? Go down for me. How you find so? Go down for me. How you find so? How you find so? How you find so? Respect to all Massive and crew. It's been a long time you've been away from home.
This is Truth Radio, 103.9 FM. We empower the nation.